Joe. That ain't good enough. Come on, Joe.
Wait, no. Stop this one.
Frizzle F tight, F fly, pass 37 punch, waggle, help, baby dizzy, X fan on the turbo.
Thank you, baby.
Football, man.
It's time to listen to a bald, fat loudmouth
Mr. T-Bone.
and a former football player.
And that ball intercepted by Tyvis, pal.
Wow, no radio station has ever done that before.
Did it work for those people?
No, it never does. But it might work for us.
Welcome to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Oh, happy Friday to you. It's not a football Friday, but it's a Friday nonetheless.
You don't have a lot of energy. It's Friday. Happy Friday. I need more energy out of you this morning. It's 6 a.m.
That's right.
This is the conclusion of our first week together. This is a celebration. I celebrated by bringing got a lid on my cup today so I don't spill the water everywhere. This is amazing.
We have plenty to get to you today. We have a new segment called Ask Tyvis Anything. They're all new segments. It's a new show. But this is something by we want to find out about Tyvis. And so you can
ask me anything. As long as you don't ask me my social security number or my bank account information.
Well, that's going to be all they're asking now.
As long as you don't ask me those two things, I answer any question.
That's perfect. Well, ask Tyvis anything. That'll come up in the 7 o'clock hour. So you can tweet us now at Bone and Tyvis 971 on Twitter/X. You can also get in the YouTube chat. Though I'll tell you on the YouTube chat, we'll try, it may get scrolled down. We may not see the question, but we'll try to find them there. Twitter's the best way to do it, at Bone and Tyvis 971. So we'll get into that. We have also got our segment called Morning Breath, where we're going to hear from some people who had some stuff to say that we think stinks. That's pretty much it. And then I have to talk about how I may have to divorce my wife over pizza. But pizza's overrated to Tyvis. So.
I mean, it's Friday, so I'm sure a lot of families are going to have pizza tonight for dinner. I'm just saying, there's other alternatives that's just as good.
That's fine. By the way, that clip of you talking, we were talking earlier in the week about the wide receiver, or not the wide receiver, the defensive back that Ohio State got, whose name is I'm blanking on, Jordan, I believe.
Jordan Thomas.
Yeah, Jordan Thomas. And the clip of you breaking down what it meant to play corner and watching his film and then talking about what it meant to play corner. It was a clinic. So that's out there now on our YouTube channel. If you haven't seen it, go to our YouTube channel. That's where you can also watch this show if you want to stream it. But go to the shorts part and you'll see it right there.
Yeah, I'm like a DB guru. I have that talent that I can look at a DB and be like, oh, he needs to fix this, that, and that. Or he's going to be really good because of this. Like, I can really see it early.
Mm-hmm. I, too, am a DB guru, but it mostly stands for douchebag. That's my thing that I do. Speaking of, we're going to have to start here because this had me fired up yesterday. I tweeted a couple things out there and apparently got some traction.
Yeah, you stirred up the world.
Apparently I did.
You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't mess with the nation like that.
I did. Buckeye Nation had a lot of thoughts on this. So yesterday it came out, Ohio State representative, not Representative of Ohio State, a guy in the state legislature, Tex Fisher. He represents Ohio's 59th district. I think I saw up there that it was Boardman is kind of where he is from. Anyway, he proposed a bill that would prevent the Buckeyes from starting any marquee games at noon, with the exception of Michigan, the end of the year. Now, he doesn't explicitly say it's Ohio State, but we know it's Ohio State. He says, more or less, that any state school in Ohio, if they have a top 10 matchup, would not be allowed to play that game at noon. If both schools, including the one from Ohio, is a top 10 team, they can't play that game at noon anymore. It has to be played at 3:30 or later, barring one exception, if you have a traditional rivalry that is typically played at noon. So we can write that legislation any way we want to. The essential idea here is, who is that aimed at? Bowling Green, Toledo, no offense to those schools. They have their rivalry, right? Bowling Green and Toledo. If they're both top 10, I guess it would apply to them. But mostly the team that's going to have a top 10 game that is a game that is going to have another top 10 team, that's Ohio State. So
what are we doing here? Well, when I seen this, I just laughed at it because the thing is this: if there is a potential top 10 matchup, Fox is going to take it. Unless this lawmaker right here has $1 billion that he wants to give the university for like a package TV deal, Fox is going to get it. That's why Fox is paying all this money to get that type of game. Yeah. So therefore, it is what it is. Like it's not that big of a deal. Like it's really not. We make it out to be that big of a deal, but it's really not.
Well, I will say this. Like, yes, this proposal is stupid by this lawmaker. I'm not even saying his name because that's just the only reason he's doing it is just to get some publicity for himself. But this actually I did say his name earlier, but we're done. No more. Anyway, this guy, we know what his motivation was. He also said in this, and this is just, I don't even know why you put this in there. He said, "Oh yeah, if you break this rule, if this legislation passes, the fine would be $10 million to whatever broadcast network puts the game at noon." Yeah,
wasn't didn't last year somebody tried to make a law about flag planting?
Oh yeah, that was another one of these type of like career local politician that no one cares about said, "Oh, it's illegal to plant a flag." What are you doing?
This is clickbait.
What are we talking about?
This clickbait.
Yes, but if it's Yahoo that puts it out, I understand their job is to get clicks. It's dumb. Don't click on it. These are people who are theoretically supposed to help the state run the government and find a way to like fix things that need fixing, keep the roads and bridges going. Why are we wasting any airspace from these actual elected officials on something as stupid as this?
They say they're going to fine the companies $10 million.
Yeah, good luck with that. I'd like to see you in what army is going to go to Fox and say, "Sorry, you owe the state of Ohio $10 million because you put a game at noon that you have every right to do."
They paying the Big Ten all close to somewhere $1 billion.
Yeah,
and you go try to find them $10 million because they took a game. Yeah, okay.
You know what? I would actually tell this guy. You know who you have to get the money from? You have to collect it from Ohio State because it's not like Ohio State is sitting back going, "Help! We're stuck in a van and they've kidnapped us and they're taking us down here. We don't want to go there." Ohio State and every other Big Ten school agreed to this. Every school agreed. This is the contract. Big noon kickoff. Fox. If Ohio State doesn't like it, which I know Ross Bjork has said, we are trying to work with them to see if maybe we don't have every big game on at noon. We'd like a few night games.
Consecutive ones.
That's totally reasonable to say I don't want 6 noon games in a row, and every time that there's a ranking next to the team, we're going to throw it at noon. I get this totally, why people are saying, can we have a few night games?
I agree.
Sure, that's fine.
It's going to be against Grambling State.
Well, that's no. Tyvis.
The OU Bobcats is at night.
No, I've here. All right, let me lay out where I actually am on this whole thing because I think the dialogue's gotten insane over the last 72 hours on this because people have gone from like you and I think most of our audience, everyone listening, Bodie, I'm sure is there, having a night game or two, having the Texas game at night. Fine. It'll be in August. It'll be hot. Why not have it at night? That'd be a great way to start the season. Makes a lot of sense to me.
Yep.
If you can have another game or two in the middle of the season that's actually not one of your September cupcake games at a night game as well, sure, I'm okay with that. But the idea that we have to make legislation, the idea that night games are the only time you can have any atmosphere at Ohio Stadium, and if it's not a night game, the atmosphere is going to suck. That's where I'm starting to get really pissed off because that's a different discussion than it would be nice to have a few more night games. The dialogue now has turned into the only way we can enjoy games at Ohio Stadium apparently is night games, and that to me is stupid.
Well, the thing is, I was just telling this kid yesterday, he's coming to Ohio State as a student. He's got a full ride. He wants to go into sports media. And I was telling him, I was like, have you ever been to a Buckeye game? He said, no. And I literally said, you got to catch one at noon, and then you got to catch one at night. It's two totally different experiences.
They are different experiences.
Like at night, the shoe is chaos. At noon, is chaotic.
Yes.
But it ain't up to the exact levels as a night game. It's just, and it's playing under the lights. It's just different.
Yeah.
Now, so I understand where people are with that part, where it's like, you need to experience the night game to see the difference. An opponent, a big-time opponent, needs to experience that chaos. But it's not to say all that to say, like, it's still chaotic at noon, too. They just, I don't know. It's just something, I guess the lights is just not there.
Well, I have been told by some people why it is better at night. And I have to tell you, I fully disagree with this argument. So I'm going to tell you what Buckeye Nation told me yesterday. I'm going to tell you, because I speak truth, Tyvis. You speak truth, I speak truth.
I'm a straight shooter.
I love Buckeye Nation. I am a Buckeye. I am a huge Ohio State fan. But sometimes we get a little high on our own supply, and that is wrong. And we have to be real with each other, and we're going to do that next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. All areas of the metro looking fantastic as you step out the door this morning. The 670 and 70 split looking fantastic. 33 east and westbound in Plain City looking great as well. And 71 coming into downtown running along just smoothly. I'm 10 TV's Brian Albizu for your fan traffic.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance. Visit shelterinsurance.com and find an agent to help you choose the coverage you need. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. TNCs apply. Available in app only.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone, and I'm going to let you know that right now, Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings is offering their best discount of the year on all their awesome sheds, pavilions, cabins, and garages from Weaver Barnes. These specials are only good through May, which makes right now the best time to order. Check out Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings' beautiful sales lot in Dublin, where you can see their displays and learn about all the options. There's never been a better time to get that project in motion and save some cash in the process. See all the details at AmishCountryFurnishings.com. Once again, that's AmishCountryFurnishings.com.
Hi there, I'm Ryan Reynolds, and like most actors, I have a list of things that I like to have on set. It's called a rider. It's just little things like wind chimes being blown by a easterly breeze, a 7-year-old calico cat to purr on my lap, and, of course, 2 freshly cracked eggs scrambled with crispy hash brown sausage crumble and creamy chipotle sauce from Tim Hortons. It smells amazing. Now, where did I put that hand-carved wooden spoon? From my rider to Tim's menu, try my new scrambled eggs loaded breakfast box.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants.
The stupidest show on the station just got stupider. Common Man and Timmy are hosting afternoons. Best friends. Lots of jokes none of us understand. Not safe for work Instagram models. God help us.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
Have you ever told a friend?
Oh, I'm fine.
When you really felt?
Just so overwhelmed.
Or sent a text?
Can't sleep. Are you awake?
When you couldn't find the words to say?
I'm scared to be alone with my thoughts right now.
Then this is your sign to reach out to the 988 Lifeline for 24/7 free confidential support. You don't have to hide how you feel. Text, call, or chat anytime.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle.
It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy on it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding. Over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. A quiet start to Friday, but it's sticky outside. Temperatures in the upper 60s and 70s with humidity levels that will certainly be felt as you step outside. The afternoon, mid-80s. Could see a pop-up storm or two, but a better chance for storms comes this evening and tonight. That's when a 10 TV Weather Impact Alert Day will be in place as strong to severe storms could roll through. Stay weather aware. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
Just a reminder, Tyvis thinks all pizza tastes the same. Also a reminder, Tyvis was born without taste buds. You're listening to Bone and Tyvis.
All right. The thing that got us going today, or got me going yesterday, was all this talk about how we have to legislate no noon kickoffs for Ohio State. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I think it's a dumb thing. It's a publicity stunt to legislate that.
Yes.
But we both agree, Tyvis. I think all of our audience agrees. You need some night games in there. It's part of college football atmosphere now. College football, plenty of big-time atmospheres usually happen at night. Understood. But I do think we have to have a real discussion about Ohio State fans, because the arguments I've heard, and this one came from Dr. Freedom yesterday, who tweeted at me. And Dr. Freedom, God bless. I understand you're a big Buckeye fan. You're just making your points, but I'm going to use you as an example here. He said about the fans, because my whole point has been Ohio State fans, we have to think about whether or not it's really a special place to go to Ohio State, like all the marketing says, and Ohio State fans are just, quote, built different. We got to really discuss if that's true or not, because these arguments I keep hearing about why every big game now has to be a night game, not just we need one or two. We need to move them all to night, and night is the only thing that matters. And if it's not a night game, then it sucks at the shoe. That's a little bit of even what Ross Bjork has been saying, is we got to find a way to get the Tennessee atmosphere for the games that are during the daytime. And it's like, well, Tennessee game was a football play. It was a playoff game. It was like a historic thing. It was a bunch of Tennessee fans running their mouths. And yeah, there's a playoff spot on the line. You're in the playoffs. We've never seen that before. I don't know if you'll replicate that for a lot of games. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the fans are saying things like what this Dr. Freedom guy tweeted at me. He said the environment at night is better because there's more alcohol in systems. The sun is down. There's lights. There's drone shows. And that is my point. If you need all that to get hyped up for a football game, then I think we're just not looking at football the same way. Because for me, if you tell me Texas is coming to play Ohio State, that game can be at noon, it can be at 3:30, it can be at 4:30 a.m. And I'm going to be excited, and just tell me when to get there. I'm going to go tailgate. I'm going to have a blast. I don't need it to be dark in the sky for me to have a good time at that game. I feel like the real hardcore football fans, they have been priced out a little bit of Ohio State games. I feel like now what you have is a lot of people who are looking for an experience. They're looking for like the same thing they get at a concert. Oh, hey, is, I don't know, a big name pop star going to roll through Nationwide Arena? Well, they better have lasers and lights and all kinds of special effects. Otherwise, I'm not going. That's what I feel like now is what you get at night games. You get that crowd, not the crowd that's like, hey, man, I'm just crazy for Ohio State football. I don't care when you play it. I'm there. I'm excited. And I feel like that's a function of how expensive it is to go to these games.
I feel you on the part of the fact that they're playing Texas. It shouldn't matter. Like, fans are going to show up. It should sell out no matter if it's 12, 3:30, or 8 o'clock. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I will say the lights in the night, and obviously I can't relate to the alcohol thing because I don't drink.
Right.
The fans are a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? They're more loose. You know, there's been a couple of night games that I've been to, maybe not at the shoe, just period, where you hear the fans they say some things to you, that some choice words that maybe they wouldn't have said at noon.
Oh, I have no doubt there's more alcohol in this system at 9 at night as opposed to noon. I get that.
The away fans, or when you're going to their stadium and you're the away team, that team's fans is Penn State. Oh my goodness! I was looking at them like, you know who you talking to right now.
Well, let me ask you though, because as former player, like. You go to Penn State. Did you guys ever play Penn State during the day, or was it always a night game? Do you remember?
And I think we played them every time at night.
Yeah. Okay. So you never had because I know in recent years that's with Big Noon Kickoff they've put that game at noon.
Hopefully they don't this year. Hopefully it's a November 1st game, so that's right at the cutoff. If that's not a night game, then that's a miss.
Yeah, you'd like to see. Like I said, I'm not anti-night game. I've seen this growing sentiment, and I've seen it from some people in the media, where it almost seems to be you can't even have a good experience at Ohio Stadium if it's not at night.
Well, yeah, that's blasphemy.
And that's where I start to go, hold on. Like, I hear, like, Ross Bjork talking about the speaker system, and we got to get better LEDs.
They do need that. Bo said that.
But yeah, and I love Bo Bishop, but I disagree with him on this because this is why. This is why. When I go to an Ohio State game, I don't care what music you're playing through the sound system. I want to hear the band.
It still fires you up, though.
That fires some people up. What I'm telling you is, for me, what fires me up is a college football atmosphere. I can go up to Cleveland, down to Cincinnati, get the atmosphere Ohio State's trying to force into Ohio Stadium. If I want that, I'll go pay for the pro tickets, and I'll go watch pro games with much better players, by the way, and I will watch better games, quite honestly. There's more parity. 90% of the games at Ohio Stadium you're going to watch, they're going to be blowouts by 30 points. So if I want to pay that price and get every pop song that I've ever heard pumped into my face, all that, and fireworks, and that's what they do at the pro stadiums. That's where the games are close. That's where it's down to the fourth quarter and someone's got to make a play. You get a much better experience going to the pro games. I go to a college game because I want I want to walk along the oval. I want to go to a tailgate, and then I want to hear the band, see them do Script Ohio. I don't need all that other stuff. I know some people do.
I hear
just pointing out that is what you have, Ohio State, that the Bengals and the Browns will never have.
I hear what you're saying, but I don't necessarily think that it's all the way about just having I think the fact that it's also the fact that fans feel Big Noon is trying to keep their ratings up by using Ohio State.
Yes, like they are.
Like that's like last year, 6 weeks straight. Like it was like you knew that if it didn't matter what the other games was, if we got Ohio State, the Buckeye Nation is going to watch this game. It's going to get great numbers. And it's just like at some point, it's like let somebody else, like 3:30, 8 o'clock. So I think that's where the frustration is coming from, where it's like y'all just using us, like y'all just using us for race the whole time.
They are.
Let it go. Like let us at least have some fun at some other time. And I understand where fans are with that. As a player, it didn't matter. Like it just put the ball down. It don't matter what time. But as a fan, I understand. Like I do want to see the shoe at night. I do want to see
the shoe at night is great.
It is. It's an amazing atmosphere.
No one's arguing.
But like, come on. I feel like at this point, if you 6 straight weeks like that, that's ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. But also, what we're talking about, where we're arguing that I can't believe Fox is doing this. How dare they use Ohio State?
They pay big money for this. So
it's like you've talked about when we've talked about some of these NFL contract situations where I say, man, this doesn't seem right to me. And you're like, right or wrong, it is what it is. It's what's going to happen.
This is business.
And that's where I look at this Fox deal is, are you surprised? I saw someone saying this yesterday where the idea was they can't use Ohio State fans. What if we all band together and say no? And it's like, band together, what are you going to do? Ross Bjork going to cancel? Like, oh, you put us at noon, we're not playing the game. No. Are they going to not sell tickets to that game at noon if Texas ends up being the noon game, which I know is probably what's going to happen? If that's the case, are they not going to play that game? No. All you can do, you can be vocal and say we don't like it. But as long as the ratings are there, as long as there is still an atmosphere, and as long as Fox has control of that noon slot where they say, we know there won't be any other games against this, we know if we put it at 7, there's an ESPN SEC game that's probably going to go head-to-head with it, and that's going to take away our number a bit. For the people who aren't Ohio State and Texas fans, they're going to go see which game is better, and they're going to flip between the two, and it's going to hurt Fox's rating. They're saying at noon, all the eyeballs will be on us. Whether that is,
that's a fact.
That's the logic.
That's a
and
fact.
I know no one wants to hear that, and I understand that no one likes that, but this is like complaining about the fact that driving around on Memorial Day weekend, gosh, there were a lot of cops out on the freeway. I can't believe. Yes, that's what they're out. They know when you're going to speed. They know when there's a ton of drivers on the road. They go out and try to get you to try to keep people safe, but also because, hey, that's a good time to make sure you get all the tickets that you're supposed to write. I'm just saying we can acknowledge how things are and then say, sure, it'd be nice if they would put some games at night. They should do that. But Fox has that big noon thing. They've invested heavily in it. Unless they're just going to throw that out the window.
You're right.
Okay, if they're not going to throw that out the window, then I think the government threatening to fine them is ridiculous.
I agree.
I think fan protests are a bit ridiculous if that's what we're talking about.
Didn't they protest Big Noon at the Penn State game? Didn't Penn State fans?
Yeah, that's.
I don't know how it went, but
Right.
I'm pretty sure it was like a thing where it's like we're gonna go out there with picket signs and protest.
Well, wasn't that a thing too with Fox when they brought whatever the kickoff show is that Urban's on, right? Where it's like, we're not going to that. We're going to go to game day instead. And it's like, oh, ooh, okay. You're going to go to the network that doesn't have the Big Ten and protest to like what? Like they're going to come in and say, never mind, give it to us. We'll put it on at 7:30.
Their crowds are similar.
I understand. Like, I feel like some Buckeye fans have gotten to a point now where they've almost decided that a noon game is worthless to go to. And I don't.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
I don't understand that angle that we're kind of aiming at now. That makes no sense to me.
The thing about Ohio State is that you have too many talented players. Like the people, if you've never seen JJ play, Jeremiah Smith play, like that dude is unbelievable. If you've never seen Caleb Downs play in person, like you should definitely check that out. Like there's some high-level football being played here at Ohio State with some of the best athletes that maybe ever come through Ohio State. You need to go see them play.
Of course. I don't think and by the way, I know there's great football being played there. I feel like sometimes what I hear from Ross Bjork and some of the other people around Ohio State football is how do we get what the Browns and Bengals have? And I feel like that's a take that you've missed the boat on Ohio State football. The Browns and Bengals would kill to have what Ohio State, the aura, as the kids like to say, around Ohio State football is unmatched. And you don't need a single sound system or a light or a flare or a drone show to
the Browns
replicate.
just want the record that the Ohio State had. If the Browns have a winning season, like I said, the best atmosphere for the Browns I've been in is the Thursday night game when they clinched against the Jets, 2 years ago? Like, it was ridiculous up there. If all they got to do is win, and they'll get that.
Oh, I know. The atmosphere will be there, but Ross Bjork needs to learn that in this state, the way it works is you go Saturday to watch the team you love dominate, feel good about yourself, so that then Sunday you can live through what your football team, your pro team, is going to put you through, because it's going to be miserable and you're probably going to be disappointed 9 times out of 10. That's been decades in this state, so that's what people deal with. All right, next up, clip that. We have a lot of sound to get to. We'll do it next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Happy Friday. No major incidents or crashes to tell you about right now. So things are running along just smoothly this morning. 70 eastbound from West Jefferson looking great. 33 westbound on the southeast side for our folks coming from Canal Winchester and Pickerington. You are looking great. If you're heading to the airport, 670, 270 looking great as well. I'm 10 TV's Breen Albizu for your fan traffic.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
Huntington is banking that just clicks. Like early pay, moving up payday so you could get your money faster, up to 2 days faster. And there's no cost. It's your money, right? So stop playing the waiting game. It's just one more way we're looking out for people every day. Is your bank looking out for you? Maybe it's time to switch. Visit your neighborhood Huntington branch or make the switch at huntington.com/yourmoney. Direct deposit and eligibility requirements apply.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Listen to that! Son of a... That's unbelievable! Oh my goodness! Holy smoke! Just incredible!
T-Bone and Tyvis present Clip That.
Sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. Receive a 100% match when you deposit up to $400 with the Prime Sports Ohio app.
All right, there was a play in baseball yesterday. Pretty rare. In fact, it's been over 20 years since we've seen one of these type of plays. Let me give you the audio so you can hear it for yourself.
To left, strikeout swinging, and a single against Hunter Dobbins. First pitch swinging, vaulted high and deep to right. Abreu's back at the track. Abreu, Rafaela combined to make the catch. Are you kidding?
That is for the Red Sox. Right fielder Wilyer Abreu went back to catch a ball. He then goes to the wall, sticks his hand over the wall to catch it, gets his hand on it, flips it back into the field of play, where then it was Sedan Rafaela who came in, Rafaela, and he makes the actual catch. That is a 9-8 putout for the Red Sox. Yeah, so like the ball is in his hand, he doesn't secure it, but it flips back in the air, and Rafaela gets under it, and he makes the grab. So it was a 9-8 putout in the scorebook. The last time that happened in Major League Baseball was 2003. And it happened when a couple of players ended up running into a guy. Literally had the ball bounce off his head in the outfield, and another guy caught it. They had like a skull fracture or something.
Do you know how mad I would be if I hit that ball and that happened?
Oh, 100%.
I look at them like, you got to be kidding me.
Like, it should have been out.
Anybody that gets robbed of a home run, like it has to be the worst feeling in the world. Like. But the outfielders is good. My boy Kenny Lofton was on the show, and he showed us some clips of him doing some good robberies. And I'm like,
Kenny Lofton, yeah. Back in the day.
He was ridiculous. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, if I hit that ball, like, I would probably want to fight you. Like, why would you do that? But to see somebody hit the ball back in with their glove like that.
Yeah.
And somebody else catch it, that's crazy.
Oh, it was quite the play. Go look it up. That audio doesn't do it justice, but there you go. By the way, the Red Sox made that play, robbing the Tigers of a home run, but the Tigers ended up winning the game 6-5. So they now have the best record in the American League. They continue to have it. They already had it. Tigers are. I don't know if they're for real.
My Guardians got to. We got to catch up. We got a series against them coming up here, and I think in 3. We got the Reds this weekend, the Twins.
Ohio Cup this weekend.
Reds this weekend, Twins after that, who's been red hot lately, and the Tigers after that, and then the Dodgers. So it's a rough stretch.
All right, well, let's ignore that Dodgers series for now. For the Guardians, the reality is you need to get – and look, the Reds, obviously, they've had their issues this year. They won yesterday against the White Sox, right? Ellie got them started. Ellie De La Cruz with the home run, and then it kind of went from there. I think they won, 7-1?
Yeah.
But overall, like, Guardians are the team that should take 2 out of 3 from this series. They typically do in this series. They've been dominant. So for the Guardians,
they're going up against Tito. So
that's true. A little bit of extra motivation, I'm sure, for the Reds to, because there's probably going to be some let's win one for Tito, right?
For
that
sure.
kind of thing.
It's going to be a good one.
And there's just pride on the line. It's the state of Ohio. It's a nice little battle they have. But for the Guardians, they're the ones that are, nipping at the heels of the Tigers. If you believe the Tigers to be real, then of course this series you cannot drop. And then, like you said, Twins are in your division, Tigers are in your division. When you get to that Dodger series, if you've won those 3 series, who cares? Who cares how you do against the Dodgers at that point?
I don't like how you're not confident against the Dodgers. They can take 2 or 3.
Sure. Yes, but I'm saying which ones are more important? These next 3 are where you can make. Where you can make the most.
The Twins and the Tigers is more important because that's directing your division.
Yeah. Also, if the Guardians were in either of the other divisions, they would be either tied for or number 1 solely in the lead. So, I mean, yeah, they're obviously playing good baseball, but
AL Central
Tigers are playing great baseball right now.
We just need if the White Sox could just find a way to get above 500, which is they like 15 games under 500.
Yeah,
it would be a really solid division.
It'd be nice if you could get that. By the way, you can tweet us at Bone and Tyvis 971. The segment Ask Tyvis Anything comes up at 7:30. So if you want a question for the national champion sitting to my right, then tweet us now at Bone and Tyvis 971. Ask Tyvis anything. I don't know what he had for breakfast. The last time he had an alcoholic beverage, which is never. Although today you said something about how you don't like to drink pop. You don't drink a lot of pop.
No, I don't drink a lot of pop or soda for you.
Sure, whoever calls it that. So I have an Orange Crush Zero sitting right here, and you said, doesn't it burn?
Mm-hmm.
And then what did you say after that? You made a comparison.
I said I can't drink. I said I was shocked that you were drinking it at 5:30 in the morning, and I said I can't drink that because it burns. I was like, have you ever had gin?
And then I said, have you ever had gin? Because you tell me you don't drink.
And I said, no, but I hear that gin, if you sip it slow, like it burns when it goes down. And I was like, I always compare pop to that.
See, I have had plenty. I've had gin. It can be smooth depending on what you get, but I prefer bourbon. That's what I like to drink, and that does have a burn to it. You actually, the way I drink bourbon is I believe the best way to do it is to have a sip of an inferior bourbon that's just like a everyday drinking kind of bourbon. Take some of that and get the taste going, get your tongue ready for it, get your throat over the idea that it's going to burn a little bit. But you wake everything up, and then you go drink the high dollar stuff. If you have a nice bottle, don't just start with that. Start with something that's a little bit more, not as complex. And then you go from there. But yes, I know how it burns when you drink bourbon. Drinking pop, this is like drinking milk to me by comparison.
Well, see, this is the thing. When you drink lemonade, it doesn't burn like at all. It's great.
It does if you have like a sore in your mouth or something. That citric acid get in there.
You got other issues if you got a sore in your mouth.
I mean, like if you bite your tongue, idiot. You got a sore on your lip? Yeah, okay.
Bigger issues if you have a sore on your lips and mouth.
Sometimes you get a canker sore. What's wrong with that? Doesn't mean anything. Just means you have a little.
Go get checked out.
That is, to me, one of the worst pains in the world is when you're enjoying food, which I know you rarely do. But when I enjoy my food, sometimes I get a little overeager and I bite my tongue, and that is then you get the it's just the worst feeling when you bite your own tongue. You feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
You ever do that?
Yeah. I do it quite often.
Are you someone who ends up having a lot of tongue biting in your eating, or are you pretty measured and controlled?
I don't know about a lot, but yeah, I've done it before. Hasn't everybody done it before?
I feel like I do it every other week.
I don't do it.
Yeah,
I think this is why I'm fat, because
You're clumsy.
The food gets in there, and I can't stop myself.
They do say you're supposed to chew like a certain number of times.
I know,
and it helps you eat slower and eat less. I have no idea if that's real. That's just what experts say.
Oh yeah, it is a thing. There's a lot of diets that say that. Like to help you with eating less food, you just chew and chew and chew, and it makes you feel satiated in your stomach. Makes you think like, oh, I'm really full when you're not.
Also, I think there's, and once again, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard it. I believe like after you eat, you're supposed to wait like 15 to 20 minutes because your stomach like doesn't tell your brain that you're full until like after you've ate the meal. So sometimes you'll eat, whatever, X amount, and you keep eating because you think you're still full. Or, I'm sorry, still hungry. But actually, you're full.
They say that,
so,
and see, I think
we're just solving problems.
I think these are theories that are working for people who are like regular sized humans. But when you're like someone who's already very large and you've already blown past all that, like I've done that trick where it's like I'll eat my lean cuisine and a salad, and then I'll wait 20 minutes and go, yep, I still would like to have a rack of ribs and a bag of cookies. That's what I would like to do. So it's just I've waited the time. It's not easy. is what I'm saying. For me, at least. Now, maybe for some people, you do that, you drink a glass of water, you feel great.
Have you ever went to a restaurant? Okay, and order like some food, like say your McDonald's meal where you get like 4 or 5 sandwiches.
Sure.
Have you ever ate 3 of the sandwiches and say, you know what, I'm full, I can't eat the other ones?
Oh, very rarely has that happened. Tyvis,
incredible.
So like the meal that when I'm pulling the pin, the meal at McDonald's is this. It is a quarter pounder with cheese, large fry, large drink.
Just a single quarter pounder?
Well, hold on.
Okay.
10-piece chicken nugget, 2 apple pies. That's a pull the pin meal. I don't eat that all the time. I have never
it's really
once.
Not that crazy.
Okay. What I'm
really
telling you is I've never once had that meal and said, I can't finish that. I've never gotten through like halfway through it and said, no, I can't eat that. So I guess if I've ever, I don't know if I've had more, I could go and get more than that and see where the limit is if you really want me to. But have you? When do you say you get halfway through a meal and you're like, no, I can't finish this? Does that
I just did it when me and Tim went to Warriors. He ate that whole sandwich, and I was like, I could only eat like a half and a quarter.
No, I would finish the whole thing.
Yes,
because that's an objective at that point. It's the whole thing is right there. It needs to be finished.
No, it does not.
Because it's better when it's made fresh. Once you put it in the fridge, you reheat it, it starts to lose something. You got to eat it all there.
I didn't. No, see, the thing is if I go out to eat, like if I don't finish, I rarely do I take it home. Like that's it.
Okay.
Like it's done.
Just look at those starving kids all over the world and say, here you go. Yep. Look at how nice it is to be me. I just leave half a sandwich. You guys could live off that, but I just throw it in the trash. I'm thinking of the kids. When I finish my meal, I say, I need this. Papa's hungry. Give me the food. Sorry. I'll make a donation to you, but I'm not going to let this food go to waste.
Oh, my goodness. They might give it to the dogs in the alley or something.
Could the NFL draft be coming back to the state of Ohio? We'll talk about that next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Your drive times are looking pretty great for your Friday commutes. 315 northbound, 71 northbound looking good at 67 and 70 miles per hour. Good morning to our folks in Canal Winchester. If you're stepping out the doors, 70 to 270 is looking great, as well as US 33 to Gender Road. No congestion out there. Of course, if anything changes, we will let you know. I'm 10 TV's Brian Albizu for your fan traffic.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Billy.
Hi, I'm Billy Hatcher, a former professional baseball player, and I'm a patient at Tri-State Men's Health. Before I started the treatment, it was like my body was sore all the time, and I was feeling very, very sluggish. One day, I would be full of energy, and the next day was like, where did all my energy go? And since I've started, my body hasn't felt this good in a long time. I feel like, I'm not 21 to 25 again. It's just been great. I feel very, very comfortable coming here. When you have the energy, it's amazing. You get to do so many other things that you couldn't do prior to that. If you're tired of hurting in the mornings, you want to improve your health, you want to feel better, give a call to Tri-State Men's Health. I promise you, you will feel better.
Thanks, Billy. It's true. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
This summer, something wild is coming to your Columbus Zoo. The all-new North America Trek opens soon. Get closer than ever to Mexican wolves, river otters, and more in stunning new habitats. Experience wildlife and conservation in action. Plan your visit today at columbuszoo.org.
When you're starting a home improvement project, a few big questions always come up. Who can I trust? Will they be there if something goes wrong? And lastly, how much is this going to cost me? At Newman Roofing, we've been answering those questions for over 30 years. As a family-owned and operated company that takes pride in every aspect of the job, with family members involved in each department of the company, we treat your home like it's our own. That means clear communication, no shortcuts, and a white glove experience from start to finish. And when it comes to cost, we get it. That's why we offer flexible financing options so you can get the quality your home needs at a price that works for your budget. Don't just take our word for it. With over 700 5-star reviews on Google, families across Central Ohio are sharing their Newman Roofing experience. For roofing, siding, and gutter solutions built around family, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
May I have your attention for some important programming news? Whew. Sorry. T-Bone and Tyvis are hosting mornings weekdays at 6. That means Common Man and Timmy will share bro love at 3. My thoughts exactly. The Fan.
We expect our information in real time. U.S. Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. U.S. Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as, that's 888-665-0696.
Tuning into your favorite team's game or actually going to the stadium is better when you feel at your best. If something's not quite right, reduce tension and pain and increase flexibility with expert-assisted stretching at Stretch Lab. Each session is customized to your body's needs with your unique goals in mind. Visit your local Stretch Lab today or go to stretchlab.com to get up to 50% off your first 50-minute stretch. Plus, get an additional $10 off with code FAN10. That's code FAN10 at stretchlab.com.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tyvis Powell helped the Buckeyes win a national championship. T-Bone watched Tyvis Powell help the Buckeyes win a national championship. Equally important, you're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Tweet the program at Bone and Tyvis 971. And by the way, my guys and gals at Window Nation, they have got a deal for you. It is the month of May. Summer heat is right around the corner. Energy efficient windows from Window Nation. They can help keep your house cool this summer. It's already getting warm. You've already felt it this week. A smart investment now. You can save money for many years to come with Window Nation windows. Plus, you can get 60% off a house full of windows right now. And for 2 years, you won't have to worry about a down payment, interest, or monthly payments. That's right. Pay nothing until 2027. I trust Window Nation because they've got an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, 50-point inspection of every window before it leaves their factory. You can set up your appointment with Window Nation now. Just call 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Once again, 866-90-NATION or windownation.com. So, Tyvis, the Browns hosted the draft back in, was that 2021?
I believe so.
Didn't they do something where they put like helmets all over, like all over the city of Cleveland?
Yeah.
Sure, that went really well for the Steelers helmet when they put that one up. probably
not.
Faced or anything.
Probably not.
Well, they may be doing something like that in Cincinnati very soon. Cincinnati wants to host the draft per the Cincinnati Business Courier. Bengals and the city are making, quote, a concerted push to host the draft with the target being 2028 or 2029. Now, I found this interesting because the city wants to propose, hey, can we have the draft sometime in 28 or 29? However, they're waiting for a green light from the NFL to make their proposal, which is a little, that just feels weird. I'm sure that's what all these cities have done, but it feels odd that you have to wait for the NFL to tell you, yes, it's okay to ask us if you can have, like, wouldn't you just email them and say, hey, can we have the draft? No. All right, try again next year, I guess. Like, I don't know. I mean, it seems very formal to have to say, we won't send the request until you've okayed our, then what? What, do they still say no at that point, or is that pretty much a guarantee if they let you make the request that they're going to let you have the draft? I don't know.
I feel like if that's the case, then that should be like a guarantee that they're going to let you have it, because it's like, all right, yeah, you know what, we're thinking about going to your city, and we haven't hit your city in quite some time. You guys done some renovating, or you've really done up the area to where people want to come in and they'll enjoy themselves. It was a nice setup when we were there. So, yeah, we would definitely want to go back there. So, yes, come ask us. I
Yeah.
think that's kind of how it is.
I'm sure that's what they do. By the way, the next two drafts, if you're wondering why can't they have it sooner than that, well, Pittsburgh's getting it next year. Washington's getting it in 2027. That just got announced not too long ago. So, yeah, we know that they've already got those settled. So the earliest they can do is 28, 29. Apparently, the Bengals previously wanted to try to get it for 2027, but there was like a hotel getting renovated by the convention center, and they wanted to wait until that was done before they made the pitch, because I guess they wanted that hotel for, all the NFL people that'll come into town. I guess they need that. So whatever. I'm sure they'll get it. If you're already hearing about it, that they want it, and they're asking about it, and it's publicly being known that they want it, they're probably going to get it.
I mean, I feel like it's 32 teams. It's 32 well, maybe not 30 because a lot of city, but a lot of teams share cities. But 32 teams they're going to eventually get out to let those cities host a draft. I feel like that's only the right thing to do.
Yeah. I was trying to see, do we know, I think it at least goes back 10 years that they started doing the draft in different cities, right? Because
it used to just be at Radio City.
Yeah, Radio City Music Hall in New York. Yeah. And then I know they did Chicago at one point. I feel like that might have been the first place they went where it was different.
Mm-hmm.
But now they've, I remember they went to Philadelphia.
When did that stop? When did they stop doing radio?
Maybe it was like 2010, 2014, somewhere in that range. I don't know.
2015, they went to Chicago. Then Chicago again, 2016, Philadelphia, Dallas, Nashville, COVID. So that was at home.
Yeah.
Las Vegas, Kansas City, and then Detroit. And then, of course, we just had Green Bay next 2 years, Pittsburgh and D.C.
Yeah. Okay. So we're working. I mean, it's only been, you still got 20 plus teams that haven't hosted. Now, I don't know if it's 20 plus cities. Like you said, there's a few that are duplications. But I wonder if they'll ever go back to New York and do one at Times Square. Like, just not that I'm rooting for that, but
sure they would.
Like eventually they're going to have to circle back and say, well, New York hasn't had one that's outside with all the, fanfare like that. New York used to host it all the time, but they'll eventually get back to that too, I would think.
Yeah, they definitely. It would be a mistake if they did not do that. Yeah. That's crazy that 2014 was the last. So 2 years after that was when my draft was. Not that it mattered to me because I wasn't good enough to go, but that's not. But it would have been nice
all right.
to still
you weren't
be in New York.
First round level pick, by the way. It's okay to not be that.
I was the first pick in the 8th round. That's what's most important.
Oh yeah,
8th round first pick.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
it's only 7.
There's only 7 rounds.
Yes.
It's early. I'm still adjusting this time frame. For a second, I was like, wait a second, I thought you were undrafted.
That's the point.
Good job. Thanks. Now I got it.
I'm
That's
glad
good.
you picked up on that. Listen, you're a quick one.
I have a question for you about that whole thing with Ohio State in the noon game. Because I've heard people mention that players either like or don't like the noon kickoffs. Did you have any preference when you were a player? Did it matter to you?
Noon.
Oh, you wanted noon?
Yes. I wanted to get up, come knock on the door at 6. The coaches come, bang, 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 wake you up at 6. Let's get it done. Let's see, because the game's going to be over by 3:30, 4 o'clock. Now I got from 4 till I go to bed at 10. So 4 to 10 to do whatever.
Okay.
I can hang out and have a Saturday. To where any other game, you really don't have that.
That's so interesting because I would think obviously before the game you're not doing anything. So if it's a night game, you've got all day to sit around and get nervous and go over it again.
You know what I did?
Overthink it.
You know what I did my senior year when we had 3:30s and night games?
What'd you do?
I took my Xbox to the hotel and me and Vaughn to be in there playing Call of Duty.
That's
we
right.
Playing Call of Duty all day.
I would think you'd have to take your mind off it. There's no way you could be out there like just.
Because the thing is, you sit there and you prep all week. Like your coach, you got tests, you prep all week, you got practices. They literally beat it in your head like this is what they're going to do, and it's like you get tired of seeing and answering the same questions over and over. It's just to a point. It's like let me just play the game. Like let's just get to the game.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I actually saw some people online saying, "Oh, the players love night games." It's like, well, I'm sure the atmosphere is fun, but you'd rather get it done with.
Yeah,
and like go out there and see what happens.
Let's get it. Let's get up and let's get it going.
Yeah, a couple of former Buckeyes trying to fight the man. I'll explain next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Happy Friday. No major incidents or crashes to report as of now, but we do want to let you know about a work zone that's going on, especially if you're heading into downtown this weekend. McKinley Avenue between Harper Road and Harrison Road will be closed and won't end until about Friday, June 13th. That's between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. for some bridge work going on over there. So the detour, you're going to want to take Harper Road to Harrison Road, take North Hague Avenue as well, just kind of loop around there. Nothing too concerning, but of course, just plan ahead if you're heading in that direction. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu for your fan traffic.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
Joining us on this episode are real Spectrum customers, Monique and Greg. We hear your family is a big fan of Spectrum.
Family of 4, we have about 18 devices last time I counted.
2 teams require a lot of speed. Everything they do is online.
There's gaming, there's streaming. Spectrum is perfect for us. I mean, it just seamlessly connects all our devices with lightning speed.
Sounds like Spectrum is really committed to keeping you connected.
It's amazing.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with a thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Hiring today for tomorrow with WM. A stable career and a safe environment. That's what you get as a heavy-duty mechanic at WM.
Plus great benefits like 100% tuition coverage for you and your family.
WM is now hiring heavy-duty mechanics in Columbus. Get boot and tool allowance and additional pay with a Cummins certification or CDL license.
There are openings for CDL truck drivers too with home daily routes.
Apply online at careers.wm.com. That's careers.wm.com.
A people-first, military-friendly, equal opportunity employer.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring is here, and it's time to refresh your yard with Ohio Mulch. With 15 convenient locations in Central Ohio, it's easier than ever to get your mulch ready for the season. Need it delivered? No problem. Save $50 on home delivery when you order online. Whether it's mulch, soil, or even stone, we've got your yard covered. Visit OhioMulch.com today and spruce up your garden with the best.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, greener, greener, better.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.625%, APR 6.685% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Get a taste of that winning feeling before the final buzzer sounds with ESPN Bet's early victory promo. Simply place a pregame moneyline bet on any NBA playoff game, and if the team you back goes up 20 or more points at any point in the game, your bet will get paid out early. Available throughout the NBA playoffs at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Download the app today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Relief from hip and back pain can be a reality when you work with the experts on a mobility and flexibility routine. That's why StretchLab was founded. Pro athletes and sports fans alike love StretchLab for our customized one-on-one assisted stretch sessions. Discover the difference a good stretch can make, because when your body moves better, you feel better and live better. Visit your local StretchLab today or go to stretchlab.com and use code FAN10 to get up to 50% off your first 50-minute stretch. Plus, receive an additional $10 off.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan.
Good morning. I'm Buddy Wells. Starting with baseball, Will Benson went 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Nick Martinez threw 7 shutout innings, and the Reds snapped their 3-game losing streak on Thursday afternoon with a 7-1 win over the White Sox. Next up, the battle for the Ohio Cup begins tonight as the Guardians meet the Redlegs at Great American Ballpark. NBA playoffs, Nikola Jokic scored 29. Jamal Murray added 25, and the Nuggets won Game 6 in Denver last night as they beat the Thunder 119-107. They'll play Game 7 in Oklahoma City on Sunday afternoon. And Jonathan Vegas, he's the solo leader at 7 under par as they head into day 2 of the PGA Championship. The second round is just about to get started right now here at 7 o'clock at Quail Hollow. This update is sponsored by BMI FCU. Enjoy rates lower than the national average, plus a special rate on balance transfers with a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card. Breaking sports news, what happens here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Tyvis has a bum wrist from playing football. Bone has a bum wrist from opening the heavy doors at Sheets. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
I got to tell you, we have Ask Tyvis Anything coming up at 7:30. You can tweet us now at Bone and Tyvis 971.
I got a bunch of wisdom.
You may have to ask him some medical advice, because you ended up giving me medical advice. I didn't even realize it. So, new schedule. We both started this week doing the show. Bodie as well. We're all three getting up at earlier than crack of dawn and on the air, start at 6, go to 9 o'clock every day. And so we've all been kind of figuring out the sleep schedule and what to do. And you and I have had discussions about napping, where you say you don't take naps. You don't prefer that.
It's been about 2.5 years since I took a nap.
Yeah. And I this week have been experimenting with all different. I did a day where I took a 3-hour nap. I did a day where I took no nap. Yesterday I took like a 40-minute nap. Whatever. I took a 40-minute nap because I knew I had to get up and go to my doctor's appointment, which now I can have like an afternoon doctor's appointment, which is just a different thing for me. I've never had that. Like in all my years of radio, I've always been in either afternoons or evenings. So it's always been
morning.
I got to get an early appointment. So this is new for me. I haven't had an afternoon doctor's appointment in 20 years. So I go to my doctor yesterday for my yearly physical.
Okay.
And she was asking me all kinds of questions about this and that and the other thing. By the way, lose a little weight. That did come up. Just saying. No surprise. That way I said, yeah, got it. I know. But then she said, so I told her I'm on a new schedule. And she said, oh, well, how are you sleeping? I said, well, it's only been a few days, but I'm getting up at 3:30 in the morning. What time are you going to bed? Well, trying to get to bed before 9:30, give it 6 hours. She's like, that's okay. That's pretty good. Then I said, but don't worry, I'm napping throughout the day to supplement it so I get a little bit more sleep. And she goes, oh, don't do that. That's not good. And I said, what do you mean not good? She said, if you do that, your body actually thinks you're on a daytime sleeping schedule. Even though you slept an hour or two, it's going to totally mess you up. She said, I wouldn't take more than a 20-minute nap. And I said,
you just thought about me.
Tyvis Powell. Dr. Tyvis, apparently.
Hey,
you're on it.
I've been doing this for some years now. And
right.
I will always remember the day. Anytime that there's a team meeting and Mickey Marotti stands up there and says something, and goes and shows you the science behind it, it's like, all right, then that's probably true. And that's where I learned it from. Coach Mick. Coach Mick was like, if you're going to take a nap, no more than 20 minutes. And for some odd reason, it just always stuck with me. Like, all right, if I'm going to take a nap, it can only be for 20 minutes.
Did he say what the science was behind getting in someone's face while they're trying to squat and screaming that they're a little baby man and they need to get it up there? Because that seems like maybe that's not totally scientific.
Did I never tell you when I realized that Coach Mick was a lunatic?
What was the exact moment?
So it was very early. Remember now, my first day on the yard was their first day on the yard because I came in early. So that's January 2nd of 2012 was there. It was everybody's first day. So you come in, Urban's this nice guy. He's, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, he's the national champion coming in. He's returning back to his roots at Ohio State.
Yeah, highly jolly. And then out of nowhere, we do the 5 a.m. workouts where it's like, you guys are bad people. You guys can't come in the weight room. I don't even want to see you wear Ohio State stuff. It just flipped. Just like that.
Oh, sure.
Right? So we had these 5 a.m.s where we would go outside in the wintertime, do bear crawls, duck walks and stuff, all lunges, 100-yard lunges on the field.
Oh, man.
It was horrible. But they did that to get people to be like, I don't want to play for this program. I'm transferring out. Like, that was the thing.
Oh, sure.
Well, I made it through that. I made it through that week. And I was like, well, it can't get no worse than this. So this is when I realized Coach Mick was a lunatic. Not at the 5 a.m. So he was still a sane guy. We had this meeting, and he was explaining about his philosophy in the weight room. And he said this. He said, the saying where you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink? So everybody's like, yeah. He was like, but if I took the back of your head and shoved that horse's head in the water, some water would get in his mouth, right? And I was like, yeah. Right there, I said, this guy's crazy. He's a lunatic. That is the most lunatic thing I've ever heard in my life. But he's 100% correct. And that was the day that I was like, yeah, Coach Mick's crazy.
I love the idea that he's taking like classic idioms and phrases that we all use and is like, no, actually, you know what? That's not right. That's not possible. You can lead a horse to water, or you can drown it. You can do that.
Make it drink some water now. Some water will get it. If you take the back of that horse's head and shove it in the water, some water will get in his mouth for sure.
That's awesome. It is what it is. Not with Mickey Marotti. It's not.
No.
It's what he needs it to be. That's why you guys, all those pictures, I just remember seeing it. That's the Ohio State version of the Weight Watchers photos, the before and afters, where they would show like a really in shape student athlete showing up at like, hey, here's him as his freshman year. And you're like,
you ain't seen, have I never showed you mine?
If I looked like that, I'd never wear clothes. I'd walk around with like, maybe shorts and that's it all the time to be like, look at how awesome I am. And then you see the photo 3 years in where it's like, here's what Ohio State conditioning did for this guy. And you're like, I've never seen anything like that. Now I look at those photos of the freshmen and I'm like, they look fat and lazy. How would you? But at the time when you first see him, you're like, that guy looks like he's an incredible athlete.
Look at that guy. Look at that.
That's what I'm talking about. You're showing me pictures of you and it's like, but the guy on the left looks in shape. He's great.
No. See, this is high school lifting. That the guy January 2012, that's high school lifting. I barely can hit 185. That dude a year later, July 2013, that's a grown man right there. Look at that boy's body is like a Greek god. Look at that. Look at those pecs. Look at them abs. I'm jealous. I look at this and it's very motivating. I might do sit-ups in the break. I might have to get down and do some sit-ups and planks.
I'm actually glad I don't have any photos of myself that look like that, because then I would feel way worse. You know what I mean? I feel bad now, but I would feel way worse.
I look at myself now and I got a belly in front of me. Like, what's good? What is this? What is this really about?
A couple former Buckeyes trying to fight the man. We talked about this earlier. If you missed it, go check out the podcast wherever you get podcasts. Just search T-Bone and Tyvis. You'll find us right there. The Ohio State noon game thing. We obviously don't want every game to be a noon game. Night games are fun. No one's saying they aren't. But in the 6 o'clock hour, I made the case like maybe we've gone a little too far with the idea that noon games suck and they're terrible, right? I feel like somehow the narrative is flipped to like we can't even have fun at a noon game, and I think that's wrong. But I saw that former Buckeyes Chimdi Chekwa and Bryant Browning have both organized a protest. Now, I haven't seen the dates on this yet, but they have a podcast that they do, which, you know what, guys, good for you. You have a podcast, you're getting a little publicity for it. That's awesome. But they're out there saying we need to protest Fox having potentially the Ohio State-Texas game on Big Noon Kick. They will have other games, even if they don't choose to do that one at noon. I mean, I respect the idea of throwing that out there, trying to get some people out there. They said it won't be during work hours, so you'll make it so they can get a lot of people out there. Well, it's fine. And
another thing,
go to the protest if you want to. It's not going to change anything.
Somebody brought this up in the chat, and they're 100% correct, because this was something that Ohio State complained about, was the fact that it does hurt with recruiting from kids that's in Texas or from California, and they got a Friday night game, and they can't get here for the noon games. Like, it does hurt in that aspect.
I get that to a degree. But I also understand this, that if Ohio State's recruiting was down to if you come to a game, that's going to fix all of it for you.
It does.
It probably did 30 years ago.
Oh, it does.
What, dude?
When you listen,
all right, but every day now. Go ahead.
As a recruit, first of all, I was coming to Ohio State no matter what, but I came down on an unofficial visit, and I came to when they played Penn State. So this had to be 2011, maybe 2011 or 2010. I can't remember. It was a home game against Penn State, and I came down. It was the first time I got to walk the tunnel. I got to meet Jim Tressel. I walked the tunnel, and I was like, man, this is a great atmosphere. And as I was leaving the game, the student section, went by the student section. This guy in the student section jumps out, and he says, come to Ohio State and be a champion for the rest of your life. And they went insane. And I'm like, man, this is great. Like, and it just made me want to come here more now. What I didn't realize is he predicted the future, because I definitely was. I am a champion for the rest of my life.
Champion for life.
But like, it was like, that was a cool experience. And if you don't get to see that, like, it don't help you. Like I said, for me, I was coming to Ohio State no matter what, but I can see how for a recruit, something like that could sway them to be like, you know what, this feels like home.
That's
I can get used to that.
I believe you. The other side of that, though, is now there's a little thing called NIL. Now there's a little thing called we're talking about guys getting offers. You
never heard the saying, all money ain't good money?
No, I have. But I also know that at some point they will get these players to Ohio State games, because the thing that's not mentioned in all those discussions is how are these players going to get there? They're called playoff games. They will be here for playoff games because Ohio State will be in those every year. And they'll probably host them most years once they get this schedule figured out, where they don't give you like a first-round bye where you'll actually get to host a home site playoff game if you're a 1, 2, 3, or 4 seed. Once they figure all that out, it's not going to be a problem. You'll get the recruits at the games. They'll see, and that's the games they'll send them to. They'll take them to the Michigan game and that game. By the way, most Michigan games, they're not during the time where the recruits have a Friday night game, because Thanksgiving week, they're not playing football at that point.
I'm about to say, unless they're in the playoffs, don't they still go in the playoffs at that time?
Yeah, but you know what? Ditch your team. Come to Ohio State. Come on. What are we doing?
Ditch their team in the playoffs.
You're going to come here in January anyway. You're not going to your prom. Just leave your team hanging. Who cares? You want to play here or not? One NFL player received an apology from an NFL team. I'll explain next. It's T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Still no major incidents or accidents to report as of now for your Friday commute. 70 eastbound from West Jefferson running smoothly. 70 westbound from Etna, Pataskala area looking great as well. And the 70 to 670 split looking perfect. I'm Ted TV's Brina Albizu for your fan traffic.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Spring weather has arrived, and we all know what that brings. Warmer weather and severe storms. Well, when bad weather hits, we all know it can cause leaky roofs or even damage to your siding and gutters. The Roofing Guys are your local experts in roofing, siding, and gutters and more, providing top quality through every roof, every time. So it's just a small repair, full replacement, or even peace of mind. You need to contact my guys, the Roofing Guys, 614-626-7000, or visit them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinder Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash, or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HinderMotorCompany.com.
The standing room only, with all eyes on the 18th green.
That's a good-looking ball.
The sudden roars. That Sunday celebration.
Jack always made the putt at 18, and today, Scotty Scheffler did.
Witness the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday, May 26th through June 1st. It's second to none. Visit memorialtickets.com today.
Wow, what a shot. I'm an old school Joe, and my philosophy is simple and effective. At the end of the day, it's not what you win or lose, it's what you save. And bet and reduce juice at Prime Sports Ohio is the way to save money on every single bet. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets, and be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Want to lower your auto loan rate? CME Federal Credit Union can help you beat your rate fast. Lock at a rate as low as 5.25% and enjoy no payments for 60 days. Plus, with their lightning fast turnaround, you'll be on your way to savings in no time. Ready to roll into savings? Visit CMEFCU.org today and start driving to a better deal. Terms and conditions apply. Minimum floor rate of 5.25%. Federally insured by NCUA.
Going up. Prices keep going up these days. It feels like being on an elevator that only goes up. Going up. But not at Metro. We're pushing the down button. Going down. We've lowered prices. Get one line of 5G data for $40. Period. That's 20% lower. And you get a free Samsung 5G phone when you bring your number. Only at Metro.
5-year guarantee on eligible plans. Exclusions apply. See website for details. Not available at Metro with T-Mobile in the past 6 months. Tax applies.
Much like a vampire, we need to be invited into your house. But once we're in, we never leave. Listen to The Fan on your Alexa or Google Home smart speaker. Just say play 97.1 The Fan and prepare to be amazed. Do it now.
Have you experienced foot or ankle pain during or after sports, running, or exercising at the gym? Nagging aches in your foot or ankle that won't go away? Podiatric physicians can provide you with important foot care solutions, shoe inserts, or show you how to support your feet and ankles so you're able to compete or exercise comfortably. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and have been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy on it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding. Over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens. We're looking at a fairly quiet start to the day on Friday with mild and sticky temperatures around early. We'll make our way from the 70s this morning to the mid-80s this afternoon. A pop-up or two could be possible during the afternoon, but better chances for severe weather come this evening. Another 10 TV Weather Impact Alert Day in place, so make sure you're staying weather aware for severe weather tonight. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
2 men, 1 appendix. This is T-Bone and Tyvis.
Ask Tyvis anything. Your chance to ask the national champion whatever you want. No holds barred. Comes up 7:30. You do that now. At Bone and Tyvis 971 on Twitter/X. Or you can jump in the YouTube chat. You can do that. Just go to YouTube. You'll find the video there. Streaming every morning, not 6 to 9 a.m. T-Bone and Tyvis. So the Indianapolis Colts stepped in it a bit yesterday, Tyvis, with their schedule release video. Everybody does these now for the NFL. Got to have a clever schedule release video. The Colts did a Minecraft video, which apparently got them in trouble on multiple fronts. One of which is I think they thought they would be in trouble. It turned out they weren't. Tyreek Hill, in the schedule release video, they play week 1, the Dolphins. So they illustrated a dolphin. This was all a Minecraft video, so everything's very blocky looking. It looks like the Minecraft characters, but there's a dolphin that the little name above it said Hill for Tyreek Hill, and it was swimming in the water. All of a sudden, a Coast Guard boat pulls up behind it and arrests him.
Yeah.
That's obviously, it seems, referencing, well, it could be referencing a lot of things because he's had a few run-ins with the law. Yeah. But the one that I think it's referencing, that most people thought it was when he...
Right before the game.
Erroneously got pulled over by the police and then, of course, was detained in a way that just made no sense. Yeah. Other players had to step in. That was regardless of what you think about Tyreek Hill with many of his off-the-field issues, no one should be treated like that. That was not okay what they did there.
Yeah, that was ridiculous that day.
Yeah.
But I think Tyreek came out and said he didn't take no offense to the Colts.
He didn't. He actually, through his agent, who is Drew Rosenhaus, said, yeah, he thought it was funny. So they didn't have to take it down on his account.
Yeah.
That's not the only person they ran afoul of, though, because they also said that they exceeded their agreement with Microsoft. So all the NFL teams, Microsoft is a corporate sponsor. Minecraft was purchased by Microsoft many years ago. So that is now an owned entity of Microsoft. They said apparently they didn't get permission from Microsoft to use all that to make that video, which when you're an NFL partner, you probably should run it by them if you're going to, kind of spoof their thing. You probably ought to make sure that they're okay with it. I guess the Chargers also had some video game stuff, but they actually said with permission from Microsoft, like that one was okay. So I'm guessing Microsoft probably would have said, well, one of the other teams is already doing that. Get a better idea. So
no, they probably would have been like, yeah, don't use the Tyreek stuff.
Yeah, that probably would have been that too. Yeah. There probably would have been a few other ones that I forget which NFL player it was, but one of the NFL players they had getting hit by a bus. Like one of the quarterbacks, because they're going to run him over or whatever. It's like, all right, I mean,
wait,
that's not, I don't think they want the guy to actually get hit by a bus. It was just a part of the little gag in that video.
Do you think that these schedule release videos have ran their course?
Yes.
You think you're done with them?
Well, what I would say is, like the Browns did a video. We talked about this.
Oh, that was terrible.
Their Browns video I didn't even get the reference.
Nobody did until yesterday.
You know what? Someone probably did, but the audience, I think, for that is not the target audience of most of the NFL and most of the fans. I think at some point, you have 32 teams every year trying to come up with a new way to do this. So you're going to have at some point, you're just going to have overlap. You're going to have stuff, and you're going to have a lot of duds, and everybody works on it and does all that. I mean, I guess I don't care. It's their money. It's their time. If they want to make these goofy videos that I'll watch for 30 seconds and go, neat, and then move on, fine. Waste your time. But
it's about clicks, man. It's the digital world.
I guess
it's all about the clicks.
I've heard about the digital world. I know.
Maybe if they said, maybe the Browns said, let's make it that terrible so people will be like, you got to see how awful this is. So they run the views up.
I guess so. Speaking of views, this was getting some views on Twitter yesterday. We don't know for a fact if this is legit, that this is actually the guy that it says it is, but there was a video making the rounds of a man in not a traffic stop. There's a car sitting at like a red light, it looks like, and all the video starts with, it's a cell phone video, it's from far away, and it's a man in like a red car who is halfway out his window getting his ass beat by a much larger man. And when I say, what's the phrase Bodie used the other day? Belt to ass? This was fist to face. It was just full on boom, boom, boom. And the guy is at some point trying to get back in his car, and he eventually does and drives away.
The most impressive part about the video is, the car was moving the entire time. And this isn't like he went on the passenger side and was fighting the passenger. He was fighting the driver as this was going on, and the car just moving, and they just kept fighting. And it's like he threw some haymakers. Boy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. So this is, I don't know exactly where this was, and I need to figure it out because the location of this would matter a bit, because the video that I've seen, the only thing I've seen on it is that it is former Buckeye Kenny Peterson, who was on the 2003 national championship team and went on to have a solid NFL career.
First two hits, bang, bang. He hit his head into the glass.
Now, we don't know.
The car is rolling into the intersection. This is dangerous.
Well, I'm looking at this intersection. The name on the streets, one of them says Everhard. And I feel like, I don't know if there's an Everhard here in Columbus. I feel like there is up in Northeast Ohio, like near North Canton area. So I don't know where this is from. I'm not sure exactly what the location is, but it looks like there are Ohio plates involved here. So I'm not sure if that is former defensive tackle Kenny Peterson or not. The video says it is. It's gone viral as it is Kenny Peterson, but man, if it is him, the video says that the driver spit at him. And then that's what caused him to get out of his vehicle and say, oh, is that how it's going to go? But either way, it's, you know what? We can tweet that out from Bone and Tyvis, Bodie. We'll tweet that out from the show account. Make sure you can see it. At Bone and Tyvis 971 on Twitter. You can find it there.
I didn't realize he got out of his car. I thought this was something else. He got out of his car, walked up to him at a light, and people just driving by.
Well, this is one of many reasons why we got to have respect for each other on the roadways. I mean, we've all been there. We've all had moments where someone's cut you off, and the first instinct is maybe to scream something at that person or to flip them the bird or some other gesturing. But you have to remember, people can easily get out of their cars and confront you. Who knows what people have in their cars these days anyway. But, yeah, if you're going to do something as egregious as allegedly this person did, spitting at someone, this is the response you're going to get. It doesn't surprise me.
I will say, I think people behind the wheel in traffic, etc., can bring out genuinely the absolute worst in any human being.
Of course.
I think you could put the Pope in like Columbus traffic rush hour, and he'd want to just start murdering people. And I don't even blame him.
No, I wouldn't blame him either.
I'd like to think I'm a relatively patient, calm person, not a super confrontational person. And man, you put me on 670 at about 4:30, and it just, yep. I don't have any sort of weapon in my car, but if I did, things might start happening. That's all I'd say.
We're gonna make sure
there's any law enforcement listening.
But this is a little excessive, though. He like to throw the car in park, get out the car, like
but
really
he spit at a guy.
I mean, that is the ultimate sign of disrespect.
Yeah, that's
spitting
pretty
on somebody.
Yeah,
it doesn't give you the excuse. I agree with you, Bodie, or Tyvis is. I think Bodie's the one saying, "Let's just get violent." Tyvis is saying,
no. I'm not saying get violent. I'm just saying, like, traffic can make people so violent. The most calm, well-natured person is so mad. And so I can see where people just snap.
The amount of times, for sure, where I have been driving along having a relatively decent day, and then someone will cut me off, and I'm like, I hope you run into a gas tanker at 100 miles. Like, I just start saying the most terrible things about I'll be describing how I hope it goes for them the rest of the day. And I'm like, what just happened? I just had a nice, I met up with a friend, had lunch. I'll be driving home. And then that's the way I get after someone cuts me off. It's bad.
It's the spitting part for me. That's why
you can't spit.
That's why in the Oregon game, when Trayshawn Holden spit on IGB, I kept saying if that would have been me, to see that spit just go down my visor, it would have just made me even more mad. I would have went to jail that day. I'm not gonna lie. There is no ejecting me. He has to leave in handcuffs. That would have been me.
Yeah. I don't blame you. We'll see. I don't know if this is actually confirmed or not that it is Kenny Peterson, but if it is, go Bucks. Right? I'm saying I got his back. You won a national championship. You can beat his ass. I don't care. That guy spit at you, my guy. I'm with you. Ask Tyvis Anything is next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Happy Friday. Seeing a little bit of congestion on the roads this morning, but nothing too concerning right now. 70 eastbound from West Jefferson looking great. 33 east and westbound in Plain City. You guys are looking great. And 71 coming into downtown, both north and southbound lanes, all running smoothly. I'm 10 TV's Breen Albizu for your fan traffic.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle in Market District. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting lower prices. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle. Experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle today to see how easy it is to save.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
When Tyvis looks at Bone, he sees the future. Bald, fat, white. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Get the podcast wherever you get podcasts. Just search up T-Bone and Tyvis. It's right there for you. Comes free of charge, as all podcasts do. At least all the ones here from The Fan. They're all free. But you can find ours there with all your other favorite podcasts. Just add it, favorite it, like it. And you can hear some discussion like earlier this morning where I went off on how noon kickoffs are not like, they're not terrible. I heard Common Man and Timmy talking about it yesterday. Mike and I used to be on an island by ourselves on that show because we would both say, I don't mind a noon kickoff. And then it would just be hellfire from Buckeye Nation. Like, noon kickoffs suck. They're the worst. And it's like, what? I mean, sometimes, but the people who think a night game is always great, have you been to the Toledo game at night? Because I have. I went for when they start stuffing the alumni band day on a night game, I've been there. And guess what? After alumni band plays at halftime, 3/4 of that stadium empties out because it's a blowout game, no atmosphere. Because it's at night doesn't mean anything. The big game part is what matters. And if we're real Buckeye fans, whether it's at noon, 3:30, night, on the moon, we'll find a way to get there. We'll be there. That's what I'm saying.
What you're saying makes sense.
I know it does. That's why I'm on the radio. That's why I got a 3-hour show. It makes sense sometimes.
But people only remember how they felt in that moment of the night game, the energy that they felt in those moments.
I know they do.
So that's what they remember.
Just remember, though, some of the people who are yelling about night games who are like, the night games are the best atmosphere ever. Some of them are just media people who are like looking for clicks. And they know that this gets a lot of clicks and that you like it. And the people who are like, Buckeye Nation, the greatest thing ever is night games. Let's go after Fox. It's like, all right, I'm here to tell you the truth. All right. I'm not here to get you to click on my thing. I'm not here to make impressions. I got all the followers I need. I'm not worried about that. I'm telling you the truth.
But would you say you have a greater responsibility?
Fans, we got to do it.
Would you say you have a greater responsibility? There's a responsibility than people can possibly fathom?
I think I do. Okay. I think I do, Bodie. I think you're right. I'm glad you brought that up. All right, it's time to ask Tyvis anything. Let's do it.
Get to know your resident national champion. It's time for Ask Tyvis Anything.
Oh, man.
We've got a lot of questions lined up for you.
Oh, man.
So let's get to them. These ones come from the YouTube chat. Jay Peel says, and then, by the way, every week we're going to do this so that Tyvis can get to know a little bit more about this guy, find out what he does, find out who he is. Jay Peel says, if an NFL team came calling today, are there any teams that you would never sign for? Why or why not?
That I wouldn't play for?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Steelers call you up. You're a Browns guy. Big Browns fan.
See, that I feel like that's a conflict of interest. But see, I would use that to be like, I would go to the media, people like the radio station and say, listen, Pittsburgh wants to sign me to a contract. You gonna match the offer?
All right, what if they say no and Pittsburgh says we want you to go out there and play? We believe in you.
Listen. It is what it is. I got to go out there. I know a lot of Buckeye fans there's a lot of Buckeye fans right now conflicted with Will and Jack Sawyer because they're Browns fans.
Yep.
But like, I think y'all would understand, like, we talking like $20,000 a week here.
Yeah.
You think I ain't going out there for $20,000 a week? Absolutely.
JP, the answer is no. There's no team he wouldn't sign for.
Not at all.
That's right. And you know what? I'd still be your friend.
I appreciate that.
Even though I would be actively rooting for you to get burned on every play when you play the Browns. And then I'd go back to rooting for you.
I'd call in every day just to do a segment.
That'd be great. Called Across Enemy Lines with Tyvis Powell. That's great. Josh says, Tyvis, I'm coming back home for vacation in June. Can you take me on a tour of the Woody?
They not gonna let me just take anybody into the Woody.
That's right.
They strict over there. Like I think that they are having things nowadays where they open up the Woody for people. So just be on the lookout. I'm sure one of the collectives or the university is going to have something where you can take a tour of the Woody and all those things. Just be on the lookout for it.
Josh, the answer is also no, just so we're clear.
They're not going to let me.
Isaiah says, Tyvis, when is Bedford going to be good at football? As a Nordonia alum, shout out to Denzel Ward. Too much talent in Bedford to not be an elite public program. Love the show. Thank you, Isaiah.
Isaiah's hilarious for this. They just had a coaching change this past season. So hopefully this new guy that comes in, he's had some decent experience in the LEL. Hopefully he can get those guys back to winning. I mean, yeah, you're right. There's a ton of talent there. But as you know, well, as you probably don't know, but on the high school level, it's really about the offense and defensive line. You know, and Bedford being a place where you can't recruit, it's not a private school. You only got what you got in the school, and you know, I don't know how big those guys in Bedford are nowadays.
There you go. Let's see. Julian says, when are you coming out to handball practice? Open gym tonight at 6 in Westerville. You a big fan of handball?
So we had them on the show, on the Buckeye show.
Yeah.
And I watched it, and I'm like, man, this is actually intense.
Oh, handball seems like a great sport.
It is. So I would like to try it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it tonight, though.
Have you ever seen the Goop? They have Goop. They scoop out it looks like hair gel or something, but it's real tacky and sticky, and they put it all over the ball and on their shoes so they can get it during the game and get a little more in their hands so they can grip that ball and then kind of put some English on it when they throw it.
I didn't know nothing about that.
They put all kinds of goo. Yeah. You got to ask go out there and see if you can get a tub of goo and bring it back here.
That's what you want.
Then we'll just rub it all over the state. Like every microphone and surface in here, just to freak out Common Man. That'd be great.
I feel like I'd be good at handball.
I think you would be. Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot that I wouldn't be good at.
Well, we've already, Bodie, don't worry. Later in the show, I'm going to have him in the Olympics, so we'll get to that. Vinsanity says, Tyvis, how's the first week of this been while balancing the Browns' responsibilities?
Well, my Browns' responsibilities is not really intact right now. You got to ask me that question during the season. Once the season comes, my life will get a little hectic. I was just talking to somebody about that, to have this and then have to, on Fridays, have to fly out to go somewhere for the Big Ten tailgate show, do that show, get back, then have to go to Cleveland Sunday and spend all day in Cleveland, then come back and have to be ready for Monday. Ask me during the season. I'll let you know. But I have a pretty good personality, and I'm very optimistic about a lot of things, and I'm just happy to be employed. Let's just say that.
Boy, that was almost a political answer.
I'm just happy to be employed.
Brian says if the Browns went full tank mode, how much better would they be? I'm not talking about attempting to lose. I'm talking 8 to 9 linemen with 2 to 3 running backs. I don't know if the math's mathing on that, but I like it. I like the idea.
So full tank mode, what would that look like? Is that the question?
No, would they be better if they went with 8 down linemen and 3 running backs and just said, we dare you to stop us from running the ball?
They probably would be better. I mean, they would have to be, if they're the more physical team, that's how you win in this league. You think about the year 2 years ago when they had this great season with Flacco. They were the more physical team. Defensively, they was knocking people out of the games, hurting people. The offense was able to pull up big plays. And last year, you didn't see that. They didn't have that energy, and that's why they lost a lot of games. I think they changed the narrative. Last year, 2 years ago, people were shocked. Oh, I can't believe the Browns is doing this. Last year, they came into the mindset where these guys have changed. They're more physical, so we have to be more physical. And the Browns last year just didn't answer that call, so they laid down a couple of times.
There you go.
That's what I think.
I like that.
My personal synopsis of it all.
By the way, this one comes from Caleb, who tweeted us at BoneandTyvis971. You can do the same thing. He said, in honor of the network television upfront presentations this week, if Tyvis could star in any TV show, real or make one up, could be a reality competition show or a scripted series, what show would you want to be the star of?
Ooh. A reality show.
Yeah, well, it could be anything. There's a show I would put you in.
The only show that I ever wanted to be on when I was a kid, it started at 5-6 years old. Jerry Springer.
Why would you? Okay. I have many questions.
I wanted to go. I wanted to go to the show.
Did you want to be in the crowd or as a subject of the show?
The subject, because see, some of the storylines is crazy, and
Yes, that's what I mean. Would you like to be the one where it's like, is your like dwarf husband secretly having sex with a male woman?
I don't want to do that part.
Okay, yeah, you want to be in the crowd.
I want to be in the crowd.
I'll tell you what, those crowds are some of the best crowds. Like, pro wrestling has great crowds.
Yes.
Springer Show has great crowds.
I used to want to be in wrestling, too, when I was a kid. Maybe that'd be my answer.
Pro wrestling.
Yeah.
That's a TV show.
WWE.
It's a scripted show.
WWE.
Yeah, that'd be great.
They letting all the celebrities do it now.
I've never understood, like, James Laurinaitis' family was involved with WWE, obviously his dad.
And he never did it.
I never understood why they didn't, when they would come to Columbus, just roll him out there and then have him like get in the ring as like a celebrity.
He's in shape for it. He could go out there and spear somebody.
That's what I mean.
See, I'm more of a high flyer. I'm jumping off the top rope like Rob Van Dam. I'm 5-star.
RVD, baby.
Yeah, I'm 5-star flag sponsor.
Tyvis Damn Powell. That's your name. I love it. That'd be great. Yeah, that's awesome. No, I think that's fantastic. I was hoping for some questions in Ask Ty. I think this is a good maiden voyage on this segment. All the segments, by the way, this week, we're looking at them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like first week of NFL camp where we're like, that one, I don't know about that guy. We're not sure. But Ask Tyvis, I'm going to say that one's definitely making the cut. Well, I like it. I thought this went well. I was hoping for more along the lines of, when was the last time Tyvis had a bowel movement that made him question reality? When was the last time get really personal with that? But overall, I think these were good questions.
Bowel movement. Where you talk about when you got to grab both sides of the commode and both legs is in the air, like Harry on Dumb and Dumber.
Get up and look back at it and go, what in the world was I angry about? That I made me, what happened with all that?
Just guilty.
The Browns have a new partial owner. I'll tell you who next. It's T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Your morning drive times are looking pretty nice if you're stepping out the door this Friday. Gahanna over there, 270, 670, US 62, looking fantastic. Drive times looking great there. And over to your 670 and 270 splits. Not a lot of congestion on the roads this morning, but of course, if things change, we will let you know. I'm 10 TV's Breen Albizu for your fan traffic.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where our erectile dysfunction treatments are shown to be effective in nearly 90% of cases. Listen to what Alex has to say about our ED treatments.
I have been experiencing problems with ED, but that's all changed. My name's Alex, and I've been a patient for Tri-State Men's Health for under a year. I highly recommend this. Every day I wake up feeling good compared to I was back in the old days. It change is more exciting. I don't have a problem with ED anymore. I'm having a lot more fun. I was very comfortable. I was always comfortable in any conversation I had with Tri-State Men's Health. I just want to let gentlemen out there know that you do not have to live with ED, that it is not just an aging process. It is also hormonal and balance and everything in your system. And once you get that under control and everything, you do go back to your youth a lot in how you feel.
Thanks, Alex. It's true. If you're like most men, we'll help you get your sex life back. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone, and I'm going to let you know that right now, Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings is offering their best discount of the year on all their awesome sheds, pavilions, cabins, and garages from Weaver Barnes. These specials are only good through May, which makes right now the best time to order. Check out Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings' beautiful sales lot in Dublin, where you can see their displays and learn about all the options. There's never been a better time to get that project in motion and save some cash in the process. See all the details at AmishCountryFurnishings.com. Once again, that's AmishCountryFurnishings.com.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
Dealin' Days are back at Lindsay Honda. Lock in your deal in May. Save thousands on hundreds of new Hondas. Simply pick your new 2025 Honda and enjoy 0% for up to 60 months. Yes, 0% for up to 60 months on all new 2025 Hondas, including HR-V, Pilot, and Ridgeline.
Cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Lindsay's got it, and you're gonna save.
See you, Lindsay Honda, during Dealin' Days.
See lindsayhonda.com for details.
It's Military Appreciation Month at Coughlin Chevrolet. Get double the GM military discount. Lease a new 25 Chevy Trax, $139 a month or $119 for military. New Silverado, just $349 a month or $309 for military. Now at Coughlin Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Military discount for active reserve and retired military personnel and their spouse. 39-month lease with $39.99 due at signing for Trax. 36-month lease with $49.99 due for Silverado. Plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details and 6-25.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't let bad feet stop you from being active and getting healthy this year. Trade in your bad feet for good feet at the Good Feet store.
Hello, radio listeners. The Fan has a new weekday lineup. T-Bone and Tyvis hitting leadoff at 6. Bishop and Friends stays at 9. That's not new. Rothman and Ice at noon. You already knew that. Common Man and Timmy at 3. That's slightly different. Even more inappropriate, if that's possible. And Beamer is the new host of the Buckeye Show. You're welcome. Or we're sorry. Pick one. Get all the details at 971thefan.com.
Brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. With Saver, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The Amateur has arrived in IMAX.
I want to find and kill the people who murdered my wife.
Critics rave The Amateur is a tense, unpredictable ride.
You're just not a killer, Charlie. Train me.
That constantly finds new and inventive ways to up the stakes.
The first one you kill, you let the other ones know you're coming. I want them all.
Academy Award winner Rami Malek and Academy Award nominee Lawrence Fishburne. The Amateur. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Now playing only in theaters and IMAX.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution Specialists.
Both of these men love the Browns. Also, both of these men hate the Browns. If you know, you know. This is T-Bone and Tyvis.
By the way, our friends at Prime Sportsbook Ohio have a great deal. It's called the Welcome Deposit Match Offer, as I like to call it, the WDMO. What is the Welcome Deposit Match Offer from Prime Sportsbook Ohio? Well, it's up to $400. If you put that in at Prime Sportsbook, they're going to match your deposit dollar for dollar up to $400. 100% match. It's good for a year, so you have plenty of time to use your bonus bets. They don't expire in 30 days. One of the best deals out there when it comes to sports books. Go download the app now, Prime Sportsbook Ohio, or visit primesportsbook.com to get started betting reduced juice. Download Prime Sports Ohio today. Additional terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Play responsibly. Lots to get to when it comes to, finding out what you could bet on this weekend. We do have, I know you've got tonight, Bodie's going to be sweated out with the Celtics. Game 6 there in the Garden. Madison Square Garden, not Boston Garden. Different Garden.
No,
but
it's only
MSG.
one. It's only one The Garden, and that's Madison Square Garden.
I don't think that's correct. I think
ain't nobody calling TD Garden The Garden.
All right, it was that. I know they've replaced it, but Boston Garden back in the day was a thing. But yeah, MSG, Madison Square Garden. Yeah, I think it ends there tonight for the Celtics. Bodie, that's probably right. Correct? I mean, it's
Celtics.
I'm taking the 2.5, Bone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Win one for the zipper. Excuse me, Doc. I got a plane to land.
7.
Celtics plus 2.5. We'll see you Monday night.
Bodie's optimism. I love it. You got no Jason Tatum.
Must be nice is all I can say.
I mean, it's still playing, unlike the Cavs. There's at least that.
They got some fight to them. The Cavs just kind of just.
I felt like that Celtics game 5, they're looking at it as our best player is out. Everyone's doubting us. We're at home in front of these fans. We won a championship last year.
You put that jersey on, Tyvis. The name on the front means a hell of a lot more.
Is this one of your Miracle references, Bodie? Because I know you've got Miracle and I know you've got Christmas Vacation.
Those are probably my two strongest. Yeah.
Are there any others that you do? Do you do like an Office Space? Have you ever seen Office Space?
Never seen it. Nope. I can do
Tyvis.
The Office, but
Have you ever seen Office Space?
Never
that movie?
heard of it.
Oh,
never heard of it.
Okay. That's so you don't know about Milton and the
Good
swing
start.
line stapler? None of that?
Mm-mm.
No. All right.
You asked me about a Blackbuster, though. I tell you, I can quote that all day long.
What? Go ahead and tell me what a Blackbuster
A
is.
Blackbuster is a black classic movie.
No, but tell me one that you're thinking of that qualifies.
Like Friday.
Okay.
Loving Basketball, The Wood. Like, those are, like...
How do you feel about Friday After Next?
Oh, I
Like,
love the movie.
That's one of my favorites.
I love it.
Yeah.
They finally about to come out with The Last Friday.
Are they really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They got the thumbs up. The script was thumbs up. So now what's sad is Pops is gone. He's passed away. John Witherspoon, for people that don't know.
That's right.
Debo is gone. So like, there's a lot of people that's died off. So like, I don't know how funny it's gonna be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They gotta have Chris Tucker gotta find a way to come back. Like, we've been waiting on him since the first Friday.
They have to bring him back, of
Yes.
course. No, one of my favorite parts of that whole series is when Mike Epps is as the security guard in the third one, where he's just saying everybody's a suspect today, and then he goes up to the women who are like trying to. I don't know if they're singing Christmas carols.
The
or whatever.
women, heaven in nature see, in heaven in nature see. Na 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 na.
Yep, blows that whistle. Exactly right. That and one of my favorite punk bands did a song where the chorus was, "Why are you always in the refrigerator eating all the food?" And like that was like the chorus of their song, and I'm like, wait, I
Y'all
know
watch
this.
Friday?
Yes, that was pretty great. All right, the Browns have a new partial owner. I'm going to tell you, it's not as significant as you might think, in the sense of, like, Jimmy and Dee Haslam didn't give up 30% ownership to some billionaire that came in. This is Charles Woodson, former Michigan man.
He's an
obviously
Ohio guy.
NFL Hall of Fame. I know he's an Ohio guy. He's one of those guys that got away. Was he from, I want to say Fremont, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Fremont, Ohio.
You know,
I will explain that in a moment. But anyway, Charles Woodson, Hall of Famer, he is now buying a 0.1% stake. So not 1%. I believe it is a 0.1% stake of the franchise. What I found odd is they told him he has apparently a line of, like, I don't know if it's alcohol, I don't know if it's wine or whatever alcoholic beverage it is that he's associated with, that his brand is on, his name is on.
Mm-hmm.
Per the NFL, because he's now an NFL owner, he has to get rid of that. Or like, he can't, his name has to be off it. He can't have his name as the owner of a team be on any alcoholic beverage. Which I thought, what does that do for like the Bush family who owns like the St. Louis Cardinals, right? I would think they still own that. I don't know. But like, can you, so if your last name is Coors, if you're Pete Coors, you can't buy into the NFL?
Why they cutting off his money?
I don't know.
Like, that's not fair.
Clearly the amount of money he's going to make from owning an NFL team is more than whatever he was making off of this, because otherwise you probably wouldn't give it up.
Correct. But that's like, why would I want to cut off a source of income though? Like, I don't like that. I'm always open to multiple lines of streams of income. I love that.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful feeling.
I know you like to have multiple jobs. So
yes,
you always have that security of no matter what.
It's the Jamaican in me.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a Jamaican thing.
We like to keep a lot of jobs. Yeah.
Okay, that's very good.
Like to work.
How do you feel about the Jamaican bobsled team? Were you a fan of Cool Runnings, the movie? Did that stir pride in you as someone with Jamaican roots?
No, because at that time I didn't really fully believe that I was Jamaican when that was out. So
I see. Now that would have been something we could have asked Tyvis about. Ask Tyvis anything. What is all that about?
Don't worry.
Maybe next week.
They will next week. But you know what? They should have asked me about Esteban Weaver. That's what they should have asked me about.
You texted me last night, me and Bodie in the group chat. Bodie, you've never heard of Esteban Weaver, right? That was a new one for you.
Aren't you from Columbus?
Newark, technically. Hebron, to be more specific. But Central Ohio, yes.
And you've never heard of this guy?
No.
But Bodie's
When
like,
did he play?
Bodie's a young child. Like, Bodie's still like forming in the chrysalis.
What they
like,
say,
he's
97? Was it?
Dude, I was born in 96.
That's what I'm saying. Bodie wasn't.
Man, they said this dude was better than Kobe Bryant in high school.
Well, you had never.
That didn't pan out.
Well, they said he got into some other stuff, but they say this dude was crazy.
That's the thing. He did. Eagle, Colorado. Look it up if you're not familiar.
I gotta go. I gotta go watch his documentary on YouTube.
So the Esteban Weaver thing, when you sent me that text, you're like, have either of you guys ever heard of, and I just start texting like crazy, like, have I heard of him? This guy's a legend. And I'm just going off about Esteban Weaver. And then I felt bad because I realized you were probably wanting like, yes or no.
No, that was fine. That was fine.
But I was so excited when you mentioned this because he's one of those guys that if you are of, like, I'm 43, so I was in junior high and high school when he was on the scene in high school, playing, I believe, at Hartley to start. And
Yes.
then stuff happened there. I believe there was a falling out with a coach, something like that. He ended up over at Independence High School, over by where I grew up. And that is when he played, I want to say the year he was there with Kenny Gregory. Kenny Gregory went on to play for the Jayhawks, Kansas. Pretty good player, right? I mean, if you can go there.
Yeah.
That era of Columbus basketball, though, right? Because you had Esteban Weaver, who was viewed to be one of the top prospects in the country.
What they say?
They say, I mean, everybody, Kentucky, Duke, everyone was in on this guy. Had some stuff happen. He ended up getting into any of those schools, and then from there he went to some D2 schools, and then really never panned out. Never panned out. Was one of the ultimate what if guys, right? He is in the local like basketball Hall of Fames around here, but never got past that level.
That's a shame.
Oh, trust me. But there, I'll tell you that era of basketball. You had Michael Redd out at West.
Mm-hmm.
You had Samaki Walker over in Whitehall, who went on to play for the Lakers, among other teams. Played in the NBA. And then you had, why am I blanking on who else? Scooney came in from elsewhere, but no, he wasn't from here. But he was playing at Ohio State probably around that time. But tons of talent in Central Ohio. And I'm probably forgetting a billion names, but yeah, that was back when the Worthington Summer League was banging. If you went to that thing, it was, woo! That was fun. You got my juices flowing when you mentioned that. I was so excited. Gene Smith has a new gig. We'll tell you what he's doing next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Happy Friday. No major slowdowns to report as of now, but we do want to remind you of some bridge replacements going on Gans Road over the I-270 northbound area. That should be done by the end of July. So a detour. Take US 62 to Frank Road, back onto Gans Road. Not too crazy of a detour, but just letting you know in advance. I'm 10 TV's Brina Albizu for your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or at rcdrv.com.
I think I just wrote the song of the summer. Listen. That's just you drinking a big gulp from Speedway. And just 89 cents for any size with Speedy Rewards? That's a hit. The convenience stores of Speedway. Fill out through 6/24/25. See app for full terms.
Huntington is banking that just clicks. Like asterisk-free checking. An account that's filled with features, but no monthly maintenance fee, no matter what. Because it's your money, right? So we think you should keep it. It's just one more way we're looking out for people every day. Is your bank looking out for you? Maybe it's time to switch. Visit your neighborhood Huntington branch or make the switch at huntington.com/yourmoney.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that. which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right. Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com to get started. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-324-VEIN. That's 614-324-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Buddy Wells. Starting with baseball, Will Benson went 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Nick Martinez threw 7 shutout innings, and the Reds snapped their 3-game losing streak on Thursday afternoon with a 7-1 win over the White Sox. Next up, the battle for the Ohio Cup begins tonight as the Guardians meet the Redlegs in Cincinnati to begin a 3-game set. NBA playoffs, Nikola Jokic scored 29. Jamal Murray had a 25, and the Nuggets won Game 6 in Denver last night, beating the Thunder 119-107. They call them the best 2 words in sports. It'll be Game 7 in OKC on Sunday afternoon. And in the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Canes eliminated the Capitals in D.C. as they won 3-1 last night as Carolina heads to the Eastern Conference Finals. And a 4-0 win by the Jets in Winnipeg keeps their season alive. Dallas now leads that series 3-2. This update is sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware and Pataskala, or online at rcdrv.com.
Tyvis Powell is a legendary Buckeye. T-Bone loves to eat Buckeyes. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Well, the chat's going crazy today.
we hit a nerve. We had talked about something that they all like, yeah, I remember this.
Tyvis brought up earlier. Yesterday, you found out about Esteban Weaver, local basketball prodigy, who never, one of those guys that I think every city had at least 1 or 2 of these dudes where they were great at either football or basketball or some sport. And then for whatever reason, either injuries or off the court, off the field stuff, never made it past that level. But in high school, if you saw them, you think, man, what could have been? And he was one of those ultimate guys. I know a few years ago, the Homage guys did like a video on him. There's been some articles written about him. But yeah, that spurred us into a conversation about some of the talent that was here. And
that made me
Baker came in to talk about it. Like, yeah.
That made me think about
Ryan Baker,
he
knows high school sports like nobody's business, but he was in high school during that era So that's that's definitely right when he would have known all these dudes. So.
Listening to his story, it made me just think about some of the football players in Cleveland that I heard of or that I knew of and that just didn't make it. And it's just shocking to me as some of the talent that you think about all the success stories of the Troys and Teds that you miss out on some of the other people that was like maybe even better than them that didn't get a chance, or they did get a chance and something happened off the field and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, the chat is bringing it. Because we said, I was telling you, and Baker was saying the same thing in the break, how Columbus, Ohio basketball used to be it's not that basketball here is bad, but high school basketball here, the era of the late 90s, you had so many guys that were either going high-level college basketball and even a few guys that went to the NBA, like Michael Redd, Samaki Walker. But then you had guys Gary Trent is from Columbus, right?
I did not know that.
Shaq of the Mac back in the day. Oh, yeah. And then someone brought up the Lavenders from Brookhaven, which I'm forgetting all of the names, but yes, the Lavender family, there were quite a few studs from there. You obviously know about the Sullingers a little bit later on, right? But Satch had that program going there at North. So that was, I remember back in the day, back when we were banging.
They say history repeats itself. So maybe here soon, maybe in a few years, Columbus basketball scene is really good again.
Yeah. And you remember what I said? I played high school basketball. When did I graduate? 2001. So, I didn't score the most points, but look what I was going up against.
2001.
Look what I was dealing with.
2001, I was in the first grade.
See, you didn't. This is why I waste so much. All the trauma from playing against guys like that. I had to deal. Just kidding.
You had to bulk up.
Yeah, there was. Oh God, yeah. There's so many guys from that era. So it's fun to reminisce when you're really old, like I am now, apparently. All right, so I told you Gene Smith has a new gig. It's interesting. Maryland has had a weird little tumultuous deal out there. Their athletic director, Damon Evans, has left the school. That was back. Remember their basketball coach? Remember Maryland had a good run. They were in the tournament, and during the tournament, they're asking their head coach hey, so are you leaving for the Villanova job? And he's like, well, I mean, I'm not leaving.
He wanted more funding.
More. He was very open about, I don't even know what's going to happen because our AD is leaving to go to SMU. And, so that was all kind of a bunch of drama. Well, now it's Gene Smith's not taking the Maryland job. Don't worry. But Jim Smith is. Jim Smith is a guy who was an Atlanta Braves executive. Prior to that, I believe he ran the OSU Alumni Association, or at least was involved with that to a high-level degree. But Jim Smith has been a sports executive for decades. He was with the Falcons, I know, for years. Before that, he was one of the initial executives for the Columbus Crew back in the day. So when I saw his name pop up as the athletic director of Maryland, I said, oh, is it that Jim Smith that had worked for the Crew and worked with the Buckeyes and did a bunch of other stuff? Turns out it is. But because of his connections to Ohio State, he has hired Gene Smith as a consultant. So now Gene Smith will be helping Maryland figure out, I guess, all the different waters of NIL, TV rights, all that stuff.
How do you think Buckeye fans feel about that?
Oh, I'm guessing not great. I want to say that probably some of the Buckeye coaches don't feel too great about it either. Remember, didn't they have a thing with Maryland a few years ago where there was a little they got accused. Was it Mike Loxley that accused them of
Chase Young stuff, right?
Yeah, the Chase Young thing where they accused them of
exactly what it was, but
recruiting.
That's why he got suspended a game or two, right?
Yeah, they accused the Buckeyes of doing some illegal recruiting stuff with him that wasn't above board. And so then that was, and I think the next year they played them, they put 60 on Maryland or something, and everybody said it was because of that whole situation where there was just Yeah,
was
they got
Urban was the head coach?
I can't remember if it was. I think at that point it would have been Ryan Day, but maybe it
was right.
It was in that transitional period.
Yeah,
I'm about to say, if Urban was the head coach, he should be lucky because Urban would have went for 100.
That's probably true. Yeah. So I mean, Gene Smith, I'm sure could help you. I've always thought, because I know Nick Saban had some conversation. He was on with Paul Feinbaum over the weekend or over this week, a couple days ago, where there's this talk about making a commissioner of college football, essentially, trying to get someone who can oversee all of this stuff. Nick Saban's name gets kicked around a lot.
Yes.
And Nick Saban obviously has said, at least in that interview, well, I don't even know if that's a thing. I don't even know if I'd be interested in that, et cetera.
For the right price, yes, he would.
Of course he would. I mean, he does have like Mercedes dealerships and a bajillion dollars.
For the right price, he still would.
Nick Saban would want to do it, I think, because of the power. Like, I think he has some views on how it should be in college sports, whether you agree with those or not.
If Nick Saban has power, I'm going to tell you right now, the first thing is NIL will be capped and the transfer portal thing will get changed.
You're 100%
That'll be the
right.
first two things, because that was things he had the biggest issues with.
Of course he did. A lot of these coaches that coached in the time that he did have said, I mean, Urban Meyer has said, I don't think I could do it now. With all the, every week you have to keep constantly recruiting the guys on your roster to make sure they stick around for the year so that they can just wait their turn to play. Well, that's out the window. We can't wait for that.
Nick Saban said he realized it was done for him when he had the recruits over his house. His wife cooked dinner or something, and the first question was, "Well, how much is you paying me?" And he said once it got to that, he was like, "Yeah, I'm done." I
mean, but also Nick Saban is a guy who has gotten a raise every time he wanted it from a college football program that was paying him at its height over $10 million a year.
But see, now these kids is affecting his money. So he ain't, you know what I'm saying? He ain't trying to do that.
But I'm just always feel frustrated with guys like him who have profited off of a system that did not benefit student athletes totally, didn't allow student athletes to participate in the money being generated, who then now say, yeah, I think it's all wrong. I think everybody's just too concerned with money. It's like, well, Nick, you were concerned with your agent at the very least. Maybe Nick wasn't, but he hired someone who was to make sure he got all the money he was supposed to get. I can't blame players for wanting a piece of that action, too, when you're making $10 million.
Well, if Nick Saban gets elected in this position, change is coming. I'm
sure it is.
Now.
Well, a guy that I would think would at least be in the running if they were hiring for commissioners of college football, Gene Smith would absolutely, his name would come up.
Yeah.
I don't know that he would win it if there was an election, but he would be someone that would have a lot of favor from people who say, maybe we don't need Nick Saban, just fire and brimstone. Gene Smith will come in, knows what he's doing. I've always thought he would be someone who would run like the college football whenever they get the playoffs to become their own separate thing, whenever they break off like the power conferences. I could see him being the commissioner of that 100%.
He must be bored in the retired life.
I'm telling you, I genuinely thought when he left at Ohio State, I thought he would kind of sit around waiting until that opportunity came up to go potentially be the guy to run the new era of college football if and when that occurs. I think that's pretty much the only thing that would get him back to doing stuff. And I think this consultant thing for Maryland is just, they'll call him and say, hey, what do you think of this deal? Well, hey, what do you think? How have you handled this situation?
Paid for this?
He's a consultant. Of course he's going to get paid. They wouldn't announce it that way.
Nice gig, yeah.
Oh, it's a great job if you can get it. All right, new segment coming up next. Morning Breath. We'll do it then. It's T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Friday. No major incidents to report as of right now, but we are noticing some slowdowns towards the city. 670 eastbound near west of Joyce Avenue. That's where we're seeing some congestion going on over there. We are also noticing some things going on 70 at Kelton Avenue. A bit of a slowdown there too. So just make sure you plan ahead if you're stepping out the door. I'm 10 TV's Breen Albizu for your fan traffic.
Do your good-looking shoes hurt and you don't want to wear ugly shoes? At the Good Feet store, we can help you wear your heels, boots, and dress shoes again in comfort. Trade in your bad feet for good feet at the Good Feet store.
Want to see what loan options you qualify for at CME Federal Credit Union without impacting your credit score? It's simple, secure, and stress-free. Visit CMEFCU.org to take the first step today. Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at MasheterFord.net. Thanks.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I know firsthand what it's like to battle through joint pain. After years of the hard hits and the wear and tear on the field, I thought pain, it was just going to be something I had to live with. Let me tell you, that's no longer the case thanks to QC Kinetics. For over 8 years, QC Kinetics has been leading the charge nationwide in non-surgical joint pain relief, helping over 50,000 patients get back to doing what they love, pain-free. Whether it's your knees, back, hips, shoulders, you pick it. If joint pain's been slowing you down, you need to hear about what Dr. Aaron Walkoff and his team in Columbus are doing. They're using cutting-edge regenerative medicine, natural biologic treatments with powerful healing properties to repair and restore damaged joint tissue. No surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Just real results. The kind of treatment I wish I had access to during my playing days, and now you do. Imagine this summer playing around a golf, chasing the kids, and just enjoying a walk without the pain. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-228-4544. They now have offices in Grove City and Canal Winchester.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Check out this fresh deal on General Mills Giant Size cereal. Select 20 to 29 ounce varieties or 3 for only $10 when you buy 3 with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy in it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding. Over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Did you know 38% of Ohio's teenagers have spent money on gambling in video and online games? Items like mystery boxes, skins, and spin to win mimic gambling, putting children at a higher risk of experiencing a gambling disorder as an adult. So get in the know about youth gambling and start the conversation with discussion guides, parent resources, and more at changethegameohio.org. That's changethegameohio.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. A quiet start to Friday, but it's sticky outside. Temperatures in the upper 60s and 70s with humidity levels that will certainly be felt as you step outside. The afternoon, mid-80s. Could see a pop-up storm or two, but a better chance for storms comes this evening and tonight. That's when a 10 TV Weather Impact Alert Day will be in place as strong to severe storms could roll through. Stay weather aware. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
Your home for football, food, and fun. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Fan poll today sponsored by Caster Connect. What are you going to spend most of your time watching this weekend? PGA Championship, NBA playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs, or other? 51% of you saying PGA Championship. Quail Hollow, I believe, is where they are. NBA playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs getting equal voting there, 11.5%. Other is at 25%, so maybe some UFL action.
Oh, look at that. There's a lot of people I know that's in the UFL.
In the UFL, not into it, like as fans. Players who are who actually play in it, which I would get. That would be worth doing because they pay you and you get to play football.
You don't watch the UFL?
No.
You never just like scrolled and was like, oh, look, and just like stopped and watched it for like 5-10 minutes?
No, because I I don't know if you're like this with your kids. I find now my time that I have to just sit and scroll is very minimal. What I'm doing is if I sit down to watch TV, it's to watch something specific. Like maybe Bodie has told me that Miracle is great, and I've never seen Miracle. I've seen Miracle millions of times, but I may go, I want to watch Miracle again. I'll go find that. So I may see it as I flip the TV on and go, oh, looky there, the UFL, and then just boop, right over to Netflix or whatever, Disney, I guess is where Miracle is. And then, same thing. If I'm going to watch a Stanley Cup playoff game, oh, UFL's on. Right over to Stanley Cup playoffs.
You kick your kids off the TV?
I have had to do that sometimes.
I have not done that.
Well, for work purposes.
I went.
Yeah, you have to.
I just went off somewhere else and used another TV.
Well,
I have that nice 85-inch TV. I rarely get to sit down and watch it.
That's the thing. We have a 70-inch in our little, den area, and that's the one that everyone prefers to use.
Don't
to
tell
watch
me about it.
Bluey. And
Yes!
It's like you can watch Bluey on the damn tablet.
That's exactly.
This is an NBA game. This is an NFL game. It's Ohio State. I'm going to watch that. Mom!
Yeah.
No!
Yeah.
Mom and Dad need to watch the Buckeyes. That's what we need to do. Get off the damn TV.
Yes.
Go play Minecraft somewhere else.
It's 2-on-1. And then the wife would just they'll tell me I'm wrong.
Does she love Ohio? If the Buckeyes are on, watch them.
She could care less.
Doesn't watch the Buckeyes?
She could care less. She's one of those. She'll have it on in the background, but she ain't about to sit there and just watch it.
See, that's where my wife played in the OSU marching band back in the 02 national championship. She's on the DVD as one of the people in the band. When they cut from commercial, they come back. She's like, woo! Like it's her right there front and center, and then they go to the game. So she loves the Buckeyes as much as I do. So when it comes time for football season, if the kids are like, well, we want to watch this, she's like, shut up. Buckeyes are on. Go do something else.
Yeah.
But they sit down, and usually now they're old enough. The oldest two will watch. But the youngest one, she's 5. And she wants to just, she likes what she likes. We're raising her to learn. She knows how to do OHIO. We got that out.
I got 4 and 3. They not. They
starting with the OHIO. That's fun. They're learning how to spell. It's educational. Then they'll see that on TV and they'll go, oh, look, the thing I know. And then they'll be hooked. And then when you tell them Dad played here, Dad's kind of royalty. I walk around there. I got a national championship.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah. You got to throw that out there.
I tell them I'm the radio guy. I'm just the radio guy.
And you know what? That's fine for now, but eventually you peel back the layers of the onion and you let them know. That's good. All right. It is time for the new segment we're doing. This one is called Morning Breath. Let's hit it, Bodie.
Sometimes it's better if people just shut up. Shut up! It's time for Morning Breath.
All right, Tyvis. The first one we've got involves a Browns future, potential, hopeful quarterback.
Yeah, Ryan Clark was on First Take with Stephen A., and he had some very interesting things to say about Shedeur Sanders.
Here's what I can tell you about the draft. If he would have fallen to the 7th round, right, the Steelers weren't drafting Shedeur Sanders.
Why?
Shedeur Sanders was not going to be picked by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
When I first heard this, I said, this is ludicrous. This is like blasphemy. A place where you don't have a quarterback, and you got a guy who some people had marked as the second best quarterback, and you telling me you got it in the 7th round, if he's still sitting there, you wouldn't take him? You're out of your mind. You are out of your mind. And I just could not believe that was the case, that he would go on to say that. I don't know what Shedeur has done to rub these teams the wrong way. Some people say he just wasn't that talented to begin with. Okay. But this is a guy who some of the experts have said, yeah, this guy's a good quarterback.
See, that narrative falls apart, though, because they brought up in this segment, and it's right, that if the guy wasn't this talented, then why did all these NFL teams meet with him? You're not meeting with 6th and 7th round picks, right? I mean, you're meeting with 1st and 2nd round, 3rd round guys that you think they could play for us immediately. They could be franchise guys. You're not interviewing a quarterback that you think you're taking in the 7th round, probably. So Mike Tomlin met with him, among other teams. Lots of teams did.
Yeah.
So the idea that he's not talented enough to play for them, then they would never have scheduled these meetings, and that's right.
Blasphemy.
But Ryan Clark, to be fair to him, what he is saying is this is what the Steelers thought, not necessarily what
not
he thinks,
him,
but,
yeah.
But that does prove that point.
And as we look on the TV, does Mike Tomlin need to leave? If F-Bomb Jen was in here, she'd say yes.
No, I will tell you, I've got thoughts on the Steelers. One thing I will say, I have had, as a Browns fan for years, if the Steelers do it, it must be good.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way anymore.
Really?
Because I don't know that that's true. I don't think the Steelers make the best decisions anymore. I think they have still make a lot of good decisions.
What bad decisions have they made?
They don't know who's playing. Their current plan at quarterback is Aaron Rodgers, who won't even announce that he's going to do it.
Mason Rudolph.
Even more to my point. Thank you for proving it. All right, the other one we have here is Emmanuel Acho, talking about the guy from the Celtics who's a little injured right now, Jason Tatum. This one, Bodie asked for this one to be put in, and I don't blame him.
Because I want to go as far as to say the Boston Celtics match up better versus the New York Knicks without Jason Tatum than they do with Jason Tatum. Not because of talent.
Break that down.
Not because of talent, exclusively because of mindset. I believe that a team is a reflection of its leader. Jason Tatum is the leader of the Boston Celtics. They are an incredible team, an incredibly talented team, but they are not as tough a team.
Okay. I don't. Bodie, you want to say anything about this?
First off, I really appreciated James Jones jumping in. Explain that. Explain what? What an idiot you are? I mean, first off, to suggest that they're softer, they won the title 11 months ago when he was the best player on the team. I know Jaylen Brown won MVP in the conference finals and the NBA finals against Dallas, and Brown was awesome in the postseason last year, and he was awesome in the finals. But I still think, and I feel very confident in this opinion, Tatum's the best player on the team, and he damn near has been since he showed up. So first off, to suggest that, I don't know, I guess they got super soft when they won 61 games this year and they were in their title defense. When he blew out his Achilles on Monday night, I think it was, he was basically the only guy who showed up for Boston that night. He had 40-plus points, and White was playing pretty well, and otherwise, the only reason they were hanging in that game is because of Tatum. It's just, there is something to, Bone, I know you and I talked about this pre-show, to the Ewing theory that kind of Bill Simmons has made famous, but I'm pretty sure you can like draw a pretty strong red X through that. When the best player on the team won them, he didn't win them the championship by himself, but they won the championship in a large part because of him 11 months ago. Like, I don't understand. I understand there is something to, like, maybe you take the best player away, the ball moves around a little bit more, yada, yada. But to suggest because of one game in which Tatum wasn't there and the Celtics made 22 threes, which I think I saw tied a franchise record, that all of a sudden that they're better now without him against a Knicks team that, you know, decent chance they eliminate them tonight. It's just so stupid, man. I'm sorry.
Sometimes on these shows, they've got 2 hours to fill, and they don't know how to fill it other than to just say hot takes that cause controversy.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
I think that's all that is right there.
Yeah, I'm with Bodie all the way, and I'm not even a Jason Tatum fan. I don't really like the guy. But what I don't like about him is that he's not clutch. That's my thing with him. In the clutch closing moments, I wouldn't give him the ball. But outside of that, I mean, he's a phenomenal player.
Well,
I just don't understand how you would think that a team would be. But that's like when Ja Morant went down or whatever, and they said, yeah, the Grizzlies are better without Ja. And I'm just like, stop.
Teams are always going to have stretches without their best player where the rest of the guys are capable of playing good basketball. But to suggest that
I feel like
you just eliminate the best player, it's like, yep, here's why they're – and to go the soft route is just the most, like, bogus. Like that to me isn't even, like, real reasoning as to here's why. It's just basically like, well, let me just go down the route of –
I would ask Emmanuel Acho to, like, apply that to football and just say, like, oh, yeah, the Bengals are better with Joe Burrow not there because now everybody won't rely on him to just win the game for him. That defense will have to play. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you would never say that about a football team, but apparently because people don't understand basketball, like they would say that about this guy, like Jason Tatum.
Did they ever say that? Remember the season that Tom Brady got hurt?
Yeah.
Like week one, and
Matt Castle
had to come in, and he ended up having a great season. And I think he got paid after that. I think the Chiefs.
He did. I want to say. I think the Chiefs made him a starter.
Did
for a
they
hot
say
minute.
During that year that maybe the Patriots is better without Tom?
You know what? Probably someone who was trying to just fill 5 minutes on a national sports talk show did, but no one serious ever did. All right. So there you go. That's the heck was. Oh yeah, Morning Breath. That's right. I'm trying to remember all the new segments. All right. We'll come back. Tyvis wants to go to the Olympics. and I may have to divorce my wife. These are two separate stories, but we're going to talk about them both next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. We are noticing some congestion for your Friday commute. I-70 at Kelton Avenue looking a little bit busy there. So just make sure you plan ahead if you're stepping out the door. We're also noticing 670 eastbound. This is west of Joyce Avenue. That's also looking a little bit busy for your Friday commutes. But again, no crashes or accidents report as of now. I'm 10 TV's Brina Albizu for your Fan Traffic.
Take advantage of the BMI FCU Auto Refinance Summer Savings Event. Earn a $400 cash bonus when you bring your auto loan to BMI FCU. Visit bmifcu.org/refinance for more details.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at HIMS.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to HIMS.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
The only contraband hiding in Tyvis's butt cheeks is a Kit Kat bar. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
You can follow us at Bone and Tyvis 971 on Twitter/X. YouTube chat is going as well. You can jump into YouTube, just search for WBNS Radio 971 The Fan. Click on Bone and Tyvis. We're right there for you. So the Olympics coming up, they're coming to the U.S., right, in a few years. That's a big deal. Mm-hmm. One of the sports that's been introduced is flag football.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know that the NFL has kicked around the idea of how do they try to capitalize off that. They want to make football more popular around the world. The NFL is obviously interested in expanding their teams elsewhere. That's why they play all these international games. They're going to Spain for the first time this year, right? Mm-hmm. Among other places they've already been, Germany, England, etc. So, flag football, what do? Apparently, the owners are going to be voting on a proposal to allow at least one player from every NFL team to go and play in the flag football stuff for the Olympics. Mm-hmm. Upside on that is, of course, exposure for your guys. Downside is exposure for your guys to injury and then possibly ruining your season.
Football game.
Play it the wrong way.
Oh, my
on the wrong field. You know that happens. Non-contact injuries are a thing. Guy blows out his Achilles for playing flag football. Maybe you could argue that that would happen anyway if he was in conditioning and training camp or something.
Yes.
Could blow it out then too, but he wasn't. He was playing for his country.
So the NFL is going to say no.
Well, the NFL, we don't know yet. They're going to vote on it. I wouldn't be surprised if the majority of owners say it's one player. Sure. I think they said there's an international slot they could do too. If you have a player who's international,
it depends on who the one player is.
Well, there's that too. I think there will be discussions about. Sorry, you're not allowed to go. We don't. But that could cause some prickly issues for NFL teams.
But it's a chance for people to play for their country. So there's no way, like, a lot of people is going to be like, no, I'm doing this. Like, to say that I put on the USA jersey and did it for the country and won gold for my country. Like, and then on top of that, there is professional flag leagues.
Oh, yeah.
Which those players, they got into it with the NFL and said, we better than them in this sport. And I was just like, oh, man.
The guy who's a quarterback for the USA flag football team now was like, I'm better than Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
And then you watched him throw, and you're like, well, I don't know what the throwing motions need to be in that league, but they don't look like NFL throwing motions, at least I'll say that.
Yeah, because they said they feel like it's different because it's like just different techniques and things like that, and he feels like he mastered. This is what I'll say. I would be able to go to the flag league and play regardless because I'm going to go as Team Jamaica. Since I'm half Jamaican, I would go play for Team Jamaica and go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, have to shut Tyreek Hill or Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson down.
Boy, that would be you know what? Do you have any actual plans to reach out to them and find out what the stipulations are?
No, but I feel like I should be qualified.
I will be in your corner fully on this.
We will get blown out by the USA.
Who cares?
What do you mean? If I'm doing, I ain't losing. I'm not going out there to lose. I don't do that. That losing thing is not with me.
So if Jamaica calls you up and says, here, we want you to come and play in the Olympics. You get to have the experience. You get to go train for it, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You have an opportunity to go do it. And then you find out who's on some of the other teams, and you realize that you are matched up against some of the best players in the NFL currently. You're saying you would just say, never mind, I'm not going to go?
No,
of course you'd go.
What I'd say is this is my shot to get back.
Of course, yes.
This is an audition to get back into the NFL. At 31 years old, I'm going to shut these guys down. And they're going to be like, man, why you ain't been playing? I'm trying to tell y'all that for like 5 years.
I have your back on this. I'm with you. And if you want to go do it, I'm fully supportive.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And then all I ask is, can I get, because I will wear the gear.
You go wear the Jamaica gear?
I've had a good run with the United States. I want to join, I'm joining up with Jamaica. Me and Jamaica. I'm gonna be a Jamaican. Can I go there? Can I get dual citizenship? I don't know how that works. If I can go there and apply, I'd go and get some Jamaican citizenship. I'd do what I could. I'll support the cause.
I feel like you got to have like some type of
that's fine
connection.
I'll see if that's in the lineage. If it's not, then I'll
go do a 23andMe. Jamaican.
I don't think they need any 23. I think they can do one and go, he's not Jamaican. We figured it out. He's not there. But I'm rooting for you to work it out. I hope it does. But if you're rooting for your favorite NFL team to not have a player going to the Olympics, well, that may be the case. They're going to vote on this soon, I guess, the NFL owners. I tend to think they'll pass it just because it's
just one player.
They want the international exposure, too.
What is it, 15, 14 people on the roster or something?
It can't be that many, right? Because you play both ways. I think, right? I think you play.
I have no idea.
I don't think you have offense and defense and special teams because there's not tackling.
Well, then Travis Hunter would be perfect.
Oh, you would think he would be, it'd be right up. Now, whether they're going to let a player like that go or if it's going to be, you're a third string, wide receiver. You can go do that.
Oh, I take that too.
I know that, but I'm saying I don't know that the NFL is going to say, Jamar Chase. Bengals aren't going to be saying, go ahead. I don't know if that's the idea here. We'll find out when they actually get to it. I had to find out something about my wife the other day that I've kind of known, but it just became a stark reality because the other night we're making frozen pizzas.
Mm-hmm.
She pulls out a DiGiorno from the freezer.
It's not Domino's.
No,
it's DiGiorno.
It's not delivery. Yeah. And then I had a Screamin' Sicilian pepperoni pizza.
Okay.
Nice little sauce on that. I enjoy it. So she says, when you put mine in, can you please make sure that you put it in at the lowest minutes? You know how it'll say like
15 to 18.
15 to 18. She's like, put it in at 15. Take it right out of 15. Like, I don't want it to linger in there. I said, okay. Mine, I put in 2 minutes past the highest number. So if it says 19, I go 21.
Okay. You like yours well done.
Yeah, very well done. So I pulled both these pizzas out because we have the double oven, so they were going at the same time. And then put them on the stove, and then I'm looking at them, and I thought, I got to take a picture of this. And I posted it. You can go see it at Bone and Tyvis 971, because hers is basically like barely melted cheese on soft bread. And mine is a pizza that is an actual pizza that has like caramelized cheese. The pepperoni's crispy. The crust is just golden brown. Little char on it at some points.
Well,
and I don't know if we can stay married after this.
I'm pretty sure that they taste is similar. Very.
I mean, they
Pretty
did.
sure they tasted very similar. Like, people like what they like. And hers is not that bad. It looks like the school lunch.
First of all, the pizzas, I don't know why I said they probably did. They didn't. I did try one of hers, and it was like eating wet lasagna.
Yours is really well done. You got the charred, crispy.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want a pizza. I don't want a bunch of bread with cheese on it and sauce. It was hers when she picked up a slice and it almost all fell apart. She's like, oh, got to keep the cheese on here. I'm like, yeah, that's because it wasn't baked properly. You didn't have it cooked all the way through.
People like stuff like that, though.
How do you like your pizza, Tyvis?
I'm more of a well-done.
Thrown on the ground because it's inferior and you don't like pizza?
I mean, I'm more of a well-done guy, but...
That's right.
You know, to each his own.
Do you like a nice cup and char pepperoni? The pepperonis that curl up on the sides and get the little thing of grease. Do you like that? Or do you like the big, flat pepperonis? No,
I like the ones that's cupped up a little bit. But... I will say, like, I can do without any of it though. Like, it's not like it's a. I can do without.
I can do without breathing technically, but then I will die, and it won't be a great quality of life while I go. I'm just saying, how long do we have here on Earth? Not that long in the grand scheme of the universe.
What about?
I want to eat my pizza and be happy.
What instead of that for dinner? Why not, like, I don't know, Japanese steakhouse, like.
I don't
Hibachi.
dislike a Japanese steakhouse, but do you do this with people when they buy, like, you go to a car dealership and you're like, I'm going to buy a truck, and you're like, why not a minivan? Like, why not why don't you get a little hatchback? Like, because they want a pickup truck. That's what they're buying. That's what.
But it's not.
Why don't
like,
you have a scooter?
It's like,
because it's different. I don't want that today.
Every Friday,
It's not every Friday.
For a lot of families, every Friday is pizza night. And
Let
it's just
them have
like
their moment. That's what they like. It's a nice gathering. You don't like a food item where you can gather around, you can each pick up as you want. It stays on the counter for a while.
You could do that with catered Chipotle. I did that at my daughter's birthday party.
Catered Chipotle is fine. After you spilled half of it all over the truck. I remember that was part of the discussion.
Yeah,
but
that was terrible.
All I'm saying is pizza is a perfect food. It comes in its own little box. You can open it up, pull a slice out, shut it. It can sit there for hours. You can go back to it. You can get like 5 of them. You have a group of people over and just watch a game and just get different varieties.
You can do that with wings.
Yeah, I like wings. Wings are messy. I love a wing.
God.
I love a wing, but I got sauce all over my hands. I got to change the remote. I got to change the channel. I can't do that. I'd rather have pizza.
Well, first of all, if you got
I'd rather have both, quite honestly.
Well, let's dip this in the bud right now. If you got a bunch of people over, you ain't changing the channel. It's y'all. They came over to watch one specific thing.
Fair enough.
You missed me with that one.
Fine. Okay. All I'm telling you is there's nothing wrong with it. Why are you pitting me against wings? I love wings. They're great.
Burgers is the same way. Hot dogs.
Burgers are great
Grilled
too.
hot dogs, the same thing.
Are there a lot of places that are saying, hey, here's enough burgers for 15 people? No. Pizza is a lot more accommodating for a large group.
Well, wings is the same way.
Wings are in that vein. I'm not anti-wing. Why are you doing this to me?
I'm just because you making it seem like just it's pizza. And it's
I would eat pizza over wings 9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10.
You're out to lunch.
I wish I was.
I
wish I was eating pizza right now.
You're out to lunch.
Someone who appreciated pizza. So there's someone who's over here talking about Chipotle, which I love Chipotle. It's great, but talking about Chipotle versus pizza?
Taco Bell or pizza?
Pizza. I get Taco Bell because pizzas are not immediately available to me anytime I want. I have to order one in advance.
JT's open here in a couple of hours.
I'm already aware. Where do you think I'm sticking around for 2 hours? And go to JT's as soon as it opens. I'm with you. All right. We're going to hit the buzzer when we come back, and I believe we're going to talk with Bo Bishop. A little crosstalk with him. That's coming up next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and welcome to your Friday. We are still noticing a bit of slowdowns, but nothing too concerning right now. Good morning to all of our viewers in Dublin. If you're heading out the door, 270 northbound and southbound, looking great there. 71 at Green Lawn Avenue, just south of the metro, looking pretty smooth there as well. And to our folks over in Delaware County, if you're going down south, 71, US 36 and 37 to 270, only takes you 10 minutes. I'm 10 TV's Brina Albizu with your fan traffic.
The Roofing Guys are your locally owned, trusted family business right here in Central Ohio. They've been hammering quality and service through the roof for over 25 years, offering professional services in roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Contact them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Going up. Prices keep going up these days. It feels like being on an elevator that only goes up.
Going up.
But not at Metro. We're pushing the down button.
Going down.
We've lowered prices. Get one line of 5G data for $40, period. That's 20% lower. And you get a free Samsung 5G phone when you bring your number. Only at Metro.
5-year guarantee on eligible plans. Exclusions apply. See website for details. Not available at Metro with T-Mobile in the past 6 months. Tax applies.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
Back in 1997, on the 50th anniversary of Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier in baseball, the major leagues decided to retire Jackie's number 42 in honor of the accomplishment. And on this date, May 16, 1997, the Reds held ceremonies at Synergy Field, unveiling a 6-foot-high painted baseball with the number 42. And you can still see the original at the Reds Hall of Fame. Over the years, many Reds have won number 42, including pitchers Rick Mailer, Jim Brosnan, Billy McCool, and Hal Jeffcoat. But no more. Number 42, retired for all time on this date, May 16, 1997, this day in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
Get Mega May discounts at Coghlan Kia. Lease a new Kia K4, only $89 a month for 24 months. Or get 1.9% financing for 48 months. Or $2,000 bonus cash on a new 25 Kia Sportage or Sorrento. Visit CoglanKia.com.
Coghlan has the car for you. $49.99 due at signing, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents per mile over. Tax, title, and license fees excluded. No security deposit. $400 disposition fee of consent. 1.9 for 48 equals $21.65 for 1,000 financed. With approved credit through KMF. Residency restrictions may apply. Offers cannot be combined. See dealer for details. N6225.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Morning Juice is now live on YouTube. Join Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Thidoff weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
Just search 971 The Fan to catch the live experience or watch on demand.
The Fan.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
So it was the fourth quarter and we're down by 5. Sweat pouring down my face. Suddenly it hit me. If only I could wrap part of the towel around my forehead. And that's how I became the first basketball player to wear a headband.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution Specialists.
Every time Tyvis laughs, take a drink. Just kidding. You'd be dead in 30 seconds. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Oh, yeah. Final segment of the program. We are joined by the host of Bishop and Friends. He is Bo Bishop. How's it going, Bo?
My wife's doing a new thing. So we got handyman Dave, who we have Dave come over, and he does the things I'm unwilling. I'm able, but I'm unwilling. And one of the things that my wife decided handyman Dave ought to do is pick the weeds out of the mulch and gravel beds and these type of things, right? The river things, right? Now we have woods, right? Mm-hmm. So I go to take the garbages out today, and the garbage bin is full of pulled weeds and plants that she's had pulled.
Yeah.
Now, we could just throw these in the woods. We just throw them in the woods. It'd be fine. So now I don't have enough space to fill the bin with the garbage because it's full of plants.
Now, that's an interesting problem because you're right. We don't have woods where I live. I mean, we do, but I'd have to walk to them. They're not close.
Are you talking about like you trying to put the trash bags in the bin?
I'm trying to take the trash out.
You can't just put
and
it.
I can't fit it because she's filled it with plants and weeds that have been picked by Handyman Dave.
You could tie the bag up and just put it next to the can.
I don't like that. I have garbage etiquette.
Oh, excuse me.
I think, you know what, you're right. It's done backwards there because what it's supposed to be, you get those bags from Home Depot that, you know, the big, the tall like, grocery bag looking things, the brown bags. Yeah. Those are supposed to be filled with the plant waste.
That's right.
Or like you said, throw it in the national park or whatever, and then you go from there.
There are acre upon acre of woods where the plants would just biodegrade.
Yeah.
That's nature, right?
Well,
and instead, this is what she's done.
How do you feel? Speaking of woods, are you aware of the idea? This is a science thing.
Go ahead.
Out in the woods, the tree scientists have studied them. They say that the trees talk to each other. They communicate through the roots. Did you know this? They've got some little network where they exchange tree fluids. The mushrooms under there, they manage it. It's like a whole system down there. And they say that's how they keep stuff alive, is if a tree's sick, other trees send it nutrients. I'm just saying we could learn from the trees. Well, they help out.
Here's what I would like. I'd like the next step then, because I would like for every time a giant tree dies adjacent to my property or is about to die, that one of his buddies helps him so I don't have to pay $7,000 to cut down a tree. That's
fair.
You leave it up and then you let the owls and the woodpeckers take over, right? And the termites it's going to take a few years, but
it's all fun and games until a 70-footer falls on your house.
No, that's
when it gets
true.
A little dicey. That's when it gets a little dicey.
There's a few around a neighborhood next to ours where I drive through that neighborhood sometimes and I think, I don't know how these people how can they even survive a storm? Because every storm I would just be looking around. I wouldn't even be able to just sit comfortably in my house. I'd be worried a tree's going to fall in my house. I have to know where you are.
Every time that I hear like the wind or loud thunder in the middle of the night, like we had some last night, and then I go out and I'm just fingers crossed, please nothing down.
Yeah,
nothing down.
I don't blame you at all.
Those guys can charge whatever they want.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like the tree guy, whatever he wants.
Because he's got to cut it a certain way so it doesn't hit your house.
Brother Bone, there's only like 6 people on the planet who do it. When you need them, it's an emergency, right?
Yep.
What do they want to charge? You'd take anything. You got a tree on your house, that'll be $27,000. Fine. Just whatever isn't it. That's where you're at.
And you have to go live in a hotel until they fix it. Right. Yeah. Or you pay a little less and get the tree taken out. You're exactly right.
They got you by the short hair.
Bo, let me ask you this. It's Friday. Yeah. What does typically go on in the Bishop residence? What's the food on Friday that y'all eat for dinner?
Well, tonight we're up at the Hall of Fame for lacrosse. So tonight it will be food trucks. Is what it's going to be for me.
I like that. That's different. I'm trying to preach to Bone here that pizza is slightly overrated in my book. And
Tyvis is trying to convince me that pizza is really not even. It's like just throw it in there with Thai food, any food. It's just one of a billion options. It's not a slightly elevated, nice thing to have.
There's other things you can get on a Friday night that's better than pizza is what I'm saying.
I'm not going to go all in with you on that, on that take. I love you. I love you both. I can't go that far in with you because I think there's really good pizza, and that's a delight. I can't get there. I think pizza is like Vegas. Like it's always good. There's never a time when it's bad. But if you eat too much of it or if you stay in Vegas too long, it can send things down a bad path. So I think in moderation, it's like Vegas. It's great. But it's got to be in moderation.
It all tastes similar. Very similar.
I don't think I can get there.
I gotta work on him on that. I'm sorry, Bo. That one's a little rough.
I mean, I can't get there. I mean, I guess they all have tomato and cheese.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying. They all taste similar.
Yeah. What is a food you love?
Yeah.
What is a food that I love?
Yeah. What's a similar like in that category that you love?
I prefer wings over pizza.
Okay. So would you say all wings are created equal?
No, he would. In the break, he was just talking about, if you get one that's super deep fried, that's my favorite.
Well,
It's
see,
like, yes,
that's different,
there's different
though.
ones.
I don't think it is. I think it's very similar conversations.
Bo, I could do 3 hours with him on how wrong he is. But what are you guys going to do? What are you guys going to do right on this show here? What are you going to do today?
I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know. What are we doing? I'm sure that they're going to try and talk baseball with me a little bit. I really have no patience for that. So we'll see what happens.
It's the Ohio Cup. You got all the
I know
Reds and Guards, baby.
Tito versus this old team.
I know it. I'll tell you I do like the idea of Charles Woodson. I think it's fascinating he has to give up his wine because he's got a great label and a great brand. So I think we'll have a little bit of fun with that. I don't know. We'll see where the world takes us, boys.
All right. That and garden waste all coming up on Bishop and Friends.
That's right.
Have a great weekend, Bo. We'll see you later.
All right, boys. Take care.
Take care. There you go. Buzzer time. Let's do it.
Shove it down your throat.
It's time for the buzzer.
Sponsored by Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings in Dublin. AmishCountryFurnishings.com.
All right. I hate to bring up a pizza brand, but it's not about pizza, Tyvis. Papa John's. You ever get Papa John's?
Yeah, I do.
You know how they have in the box the little peppers?
The
pepperoncinis?
My wife always eats it.
Okay. Well, she might like this. I don't think this sounds good at all, but Mountain Dew and Papa John's are collaborating on the first dirty Mountain Dew pepperoncini soda. They're calling it the Chini Dirty Soda Kit. They are saying this is only for a select group of people. You have to go on their website and apply, and maybe they'll send you one. But they will send you a glass. They'll send you some Mountain Dew. They'll send you some spice mix to put on the rim, some syrup, and then they will send you some of their pepperoncinis in a jar, and you can put all the juice and the pepperoncinis in the Mountain Dew. And they say it's a good combo. I think it sounds disgusting, but
I'd have to bring it up to the lieutenant and tell you what she thinks.
Or you could order a Papa John's and get like the pepper and then just do it yourself, with your own Mountain Dew.
Yeah, that
whatever.
works too.
I guess so. Anyway, that's what we leave you with today. Thanks for joining us on the inaugural week. T-Bone and Tyvis back on Monday, bright and early, 6 a.m. It is Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and happy Friday. We are noticing a bit of congestion as you're stepping into the metro here. New Albany, if you're taking 161 westbound and eastbound, looking great. A little bit slower on 62 eastbound, though. We do have some drive times northbound. I-71 north, 670 to 270. Got you at 9 minutes. 315 north, 670 to 270 there. Only takes you 10. I'm 10 TV's Breen Albizu with your fan traffic.
Hi there, I'm Ryan Reynolds, and like most actors, I have a list of things that I like to have on set. It's called a rider. It's just little things like wind chimes being blown by a easterly breeze, a 7-year-old calico cat to purr on my lap, and of course 2 freshly cracked eggs scrambled with crispy hash brown sausage crumble and creamy chipotle sauce from Tim Hortons. It smells amazing. Now where did I put that hand-carved wooden spoon? From my rider to Tim's menu, try my new scrambled eggs loaded breakfast box.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants.
2 guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same 2 guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This summer, save more with hot deals on Meyer brand must-haves for $2 or less all season long.
Like Meyer potato chips?
Yep.
Hamburger buns?
Of course.
Ketchup?
Absolutely.
How about Meyer lemonade? That's my favorite.
Yep, that too. Plus pickles, baked beans, cheese slices for sandwiches. It's your favorite Meyer brand must-haves for $2 or less all season long.
Now that is a good deal better.
Only at Meyer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meyer app.
Get Eco.
ECO. Aaron, I love that we fix ACs for free.
I don't think we do that, Jerry.
Get Eco.
ECO. Stay with me, Aaron. I'm going to explain to you how it works.
You're going to explain to me how my own invention works?
Get Eco.
Step 1. Some other HVAC company tells a customer that they need a whole new system.
Yes.
And then they call us.
They can always call us, Jerry.
Get Eco.
And then we repair their system for free.
No, then they pay us.
But we give the money back, right?
We give them back all the money they paid us to fix their old system when they finally do need a new one.
Up to $1,500, right?
Right.
Aaron, we're fixing HVAC systems for free.
Get Eco.
We extend the life of their system.
That's right.
Those extra years are free. On me.
Get Eco.
Eco. Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
Are you ready for the ultimate entertainment experience? It's all here, only with Spectrum TV Select. Popular apps are included: Disney Plus, Max, Peacock Premium, Paramount Plus, AMC Plus, and more. And live TV for sports, entertainment, and news. Enjoy across your devices no matter when or where you are. Get Spectrum TV Select and start streaming your favorites today. It's all here. Visit spectrum.com/entertainment. Restrictions apply.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10 TV and The Fan to launch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes who are going above and beyond in their communities. Newman Roofing wants to recognize the volunteers, educators, first responders, and everyday difference makers who are making a meaningful impact in their towns to be recognized on 10 TV and The Fan. Stay tuned as we begin announcing the selected honorees who truly embody the spirit of Newman Roofing's commitment to community.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
Brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. With Saver, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.